Nice cold day outside, gray day outside, so we're back in the layout. Well, I'm going to show you a lot of stuff that has changed since we were here on the Wednesday. Wednesday, we were here Wednesday, so we'll show you everything there and everything that's going on. Some things moved faster, some things didn't, so we will update you on progress of things. So we will we'll get to all that here in just a little bit. Projects for today. Projects for today are going to be, as the title stated, are going to be continuing the landscape around the corner like we did last week. I have all of the roof panels ready to go for the station. So we are going to be putting the roof panels together for the station today. I'm going to be doing some foam carving over here to finish up this one little cliff and get it done, even though that's not how it's going to look eventually. I don't like how it looks right now.
Arski says good morning.
Good morning. Glad to see you. How's it in Florida? Probably nicer than it is here.
Morning. You got to mention about the email.
Oh yeah. Before everybody starts coming on, I'll let you know. I got your email about the images. I've got a couple ideas. I kind of see where you're going with it. So let me sketch something up, and I will send it to you. And you can kind of do a yay or nay. I'll give you a couple options as to how that might work and look pretty good. So let me do that, and I'll get that off this week. Probably first, we're moving a lot of stuff out of here, but I'll get it off to you like Monday or Tuesday, and then you can kind of see what you like, and we can go from there on it. So, but I have been working on it, so we'll get with you on it. So thanks for sending that. Okay, so like I said. Today we will be working on landscaping, getting all of this done. I got a lot of painting to do right here. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna work on the foam carving over here to get that little area kind of just finished up until I finally decide what I'm going to do with it. We've got a special thing here that we're going to talk about. The big project, as you can see, you'll be able to see when I get to moving around. I've finally got this area back here cleared for the huge project we have coming in. That'll be starting on our live stream. That'll be kind of middle to end of next week. So we'll show you this area here, what we're getting ready to do there. We'll discuss the power options that we've got coming. So we got a lot to do, got a lot to cover. I'm just not sure where I want to start today. I'm probably going to start with maybe with the scenery, because as you saw last time, kind of have to do things in stages on it. So we may start with that, or we may start with the station. But anyway, I'm going to get the camera, and we're going to walk around. I'll talk about what has changed, and I'll show you what really slowed me up this week and get everything done was I worked on the lights. I got all of this.
Hello, and AS says hello. How are you? I'm from Pakistan.
Oh, somebody from Pakistan. Doing good. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for joining us. But I'm going to show you what took me a couple of days to figure out up here. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with my lighting, but now we've got it all figured out. So I've just got a couple things left to do up here. I want to add one extra, probably foundation up here, a clip area up here, to where I can put in like maybe 4 lights that'll have more of an amber orangey glow to it, so that we want to run nighttime trains, I can click those on and dim. I've got to replace, I was reading, I didn't realize that LEDs required a special dimmer and required special lights that were dimmable. So I've had these lights forever anyway. They were for when I was growing plants. So I'm just using what I've got now. So as I'm replacing, I'm going to replace with dimmable lights, and I'll get a thing over here, a dimmer switch over here, or a knob right over here when you come in, so we can dim it down, and I can turn up the orange lights, red lights, orange lights, to get more of an evening glow. I think that'll look really good, and then that way we can start to turn on the buildings at various stages, like have the lights all set up to where we turn on here and there, and then eventually by the time we get it down to dark, we can have all the lights on and everything, but we can do transition from day to night. But I'll show you what I've done up here in the ceiling, and I don't think you can see it right now with the camera, so I'll show you everything that's set up here. It's kind of a wiry mess right now. I'm going to get all that organized and everything cleaned up, so we'll be doing that this next week, in addition to getting the rest of the lights I need because I've got a few here. I've got the little canisters up, but I don't have the lights in place.
Someplace here, Dan.
Okay.
Arski says it's 70 degrees right now.
Oh,
thank you.
70 degrees in Florida. Okay.
And Debu says your model reminds me of how George Lucas did real modeling on the original Star Wars.
Oh, well, thank you. That's funny that you had mentioned that. So he said it reminded him of the modeling in Star Wars. See, I was of the generation where I got to see that in the theaters. And I was young, well, not super young, but I mean, I was in my teen years when it got to the theaters. I went and saw it, I think, 120 times, something like that. So what I wanted to do actually was go be a model builder in Hollywood. So the only way really to get in, the fast track to get in, is when you got out of high school, is you went to UCLA. They had a film school there that was connected right with Lucas and his. I don't know if he had it named ILM back then or not, but anyway, it was hooked up with Lucas, and you were pretty much guaranteed if you went through their film department there, you got a job. So that's what I was really hoping to do, was that between the art and the model building was to do something like that. But then I started looking at how much the film school cost, and that was just a little out of the budget. So that just kind of, so this is where I put my efforts, was into building like this. And you'll see that as we go along, because there's going to be lots of animation. There's going to be lots of lighting effects. There's going to be just tons of custom builds. We're going to just really just go all out on this upper level right here. Well, lower level is going to go all out too, but I mean, we're really going to go all out on this upper level. So I've got a few more things I got to get cleared off the walls that are still here before we can really start to bring in the skyscrapers and the huge everythings that we're going to do. So let me get the camera and I will show you what we're going to do and what has changed. So we'll start with that. We'll get this here. Yeah, we'll start with this. Oh, I found two cars. I actually found two cars out of my inventory that had couplers that were compatible to my engines. So today we are going to test all three tracks and see how that goes. I've got them sitting up. I don't know if you can see them to the right here. They're a couple of pressure aid hoppers from, I don't know, I've got them at HO also. Nice little cars. They've even got the etched walkways up top, where they're see-through. So really good stuff. So we will actually, we'll be able to test some of these joint areas here that I've been kind of wondering about if they're going to handle cars that don't have the weight of an engine, whether they're going to get across or not, and also the curve radiuses. So we're going to be doing a lot of testing, a lot of running. We'll probably actually go ahead. I've got it hooked up here. We're probably, as soon as I get done showing everything, we're probably going to test the inside track, and we're going to have to keep continually testing today as I do the landscaping, just to make sure, like last time, that I don't get any material on here and I don't mess up the tracks. Yes?
Okay. Debu says your description reminds you of Blade Runner.
Oh, reminds me of Blade Runner, thank you.
Birthday lady says, I'm here but don't know how awake I am. Happy 2026.
Okay, happy 2026.
I am Ghost Boo says, choo choo.
Choo choo. Yeah, that's what it is.
Battle Royale Jr. says, hi, how are you, man? Happy 2026. I'm from Iran.
Oh, happy New Year to you in Iran. I hope you had a good, safe New Year's as well, like everybody else.
Oh, and he also says, nice job.
Oh, thank you.
Isaac says, hi, good news. I don't need that splint anymore.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you don't. Glad you're able to take it off. That splint. Good. That's good to hear. All right. So let's get started. I think what I'll do is I'll start off. I'll show you what I accomplished up top with the lights. Like I said, that's what chewed up a lot of time was this week. Doing that and the electric, figuring it all out so that I didn't have everything on one line. So we will show that, and it's all just being run off of plugs, off of one of those light bar plugs that has the circuit breaker in it. So, but LEDs, they don't draw any power. I mean, they're nothing. In this room at one time, I had probably, when I was growing the plants for our garden out here, I probably had 40 to 50 lights in here, all running off of just two lines because they just don't take any power. Never had an issue with it. So I can do whatever I want to do with the LEDs that we're using. So, all right, so let me show you what we've done. All right. So, make glasses here so I can actually see what I'm showing you. Make sure I'm showing you the right things. Okay. Well, you know what? It's going to be easier if I duck under and we come back. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, so here's what I worked on was this whole area right here, these mounting areas right here for all these lights. I just don't have this bank on right now because I'm not going to need it, but when I start to work here with the scenery today, I'll be turning these on right here as well. So this is going to give me all of the light I'm going to need. Because as you can see, if you've been with us for a while, you notice you can now see the entire face of this building instead of everything being in shadow. And you can see the face of the wall right here. It's not in shadow anymore either. Are there any questions?
Well, Devin says, I just subscribed. Thank you for answering my questions and providing all that insight about your early history and model.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And thank you for asking about that and all the Star Wars stuff. So yeah, no. Any questions you have, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer. Okay, so anyway, back up here on the lights. So I am going to put a row right here so that when we build this huge ship area right here for the grain unloading, I can light the ship up on this side. Plus, that also gives me some more light over here so I can watch what's happening on the helix. So today, like I said, what we're going to do today is we're going to work on the scenery right here. We're going to bring this all the way around. You can see I've already jammed my stuff in here for the gaps. I'll just backfill that. This is, sorry about that, that's a piece that goes to a blast furnace. So we're going to fill all this in right here between the tracks. We'll come over here. If you'll recall, this is what we did on Wednesday. You can see how well this dried up. It matched the rest of it just perfectly. So what we're going to be doing is expanding this across right here into this area and go ahead and come around. I'm going to stop right here with everything because this is where it hits the straight area. And this is where it's all going to start going to, I don't know where my switches are going to be. So I'm going to stop about right here too, where the straight is, so that if I need to cut and do stuff and I need to add out here sidings and things, I'll be able to do it without any problem and not have to tear up too much of the scenery we work on today. Somebody asked what we're building here and said it looks sweet and cool. Well, thank you very much. We are building an N-scale double level layout. Right now we're working on the upper level. There's going to be all a massive city with between 20 and 30 skyscrapers going across through this whole area with a lot of smaller buildings, background stuff, everything, an elevated track line right here. This lower staging area with our 3 main lines that will be all switching to be able to get to the helix right here to go down to the other level. So that's what we're working on. So we've been working on this for about 4 months now so far, between 4 and 5, something like that. No more than that. So I'm just going over what we're going to be working on today. In addition to doing this right here, I am going to carve this bit of foam right here and go ahead and finish this up because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do right here because I have to bring the elevated track over through here and come up over here somewhere, but I am just so it's finished for right now and we don't have this big pink area right here staring at us. I'm going to go ahead and just carve it because it won't take me any time to carve this and to use the joint compound and get it all looking like I've done over here. So, well, thank you on both of those comments. Thank you for the compliments very much. So we're going to work on this. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is the station that we started building Wednesday. I have all the roof panels now, almost all the roof panels ready to go so I can start gluing the roofs together right here. I won't be able to get it all complete done today because there's things that have to be done. I'll show you some of the pieces that are inside that are the clock tower and stuff that goes here. I have to actually attach that, paint all this, and then I can paint all of the roofs separately, then I can start to bring things together. But I do have areas here that I need to put together today. So we're going to do that too. All right. Right here, right on the pink, right here, there's a huge project getting ready to start. And we're going to talk about that in the next live feed. Right now, it's going to be a huge building. Let me, hang on just a second. I'm going to pop this open and you'll be able to see what it is that we're building. Okay, well, I'll answer those while I'm pulling this up. Somebody asked if this is after a real city or if it's all custom. This is all custom. What we're doing is there's a guy online who has all these files for these great buildings, but they're buildings from around the world. A lot of them are North America. But most of them are, most of them are North America, but there's some great ones from other countries. So I'm picking our favorites. We're adjusting them. For example, this one right here, the original building, the real building was only about this tall. So what we've done is we've taken we've expanded. We copied this section right here, and we made 2 more sections, and we brought the height up. So we're going to adjust all the buildings to suit us. But if you can tell right up here, this is a very unique top. So it really identifies this as to what it is, what the building this is. We are keeping original components of the original building, but we're adapting them to the layout. All right, let me get this. Go ahead.
Okay. Terry says amazing. Did you just start building it? Then you should get the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower. Well, we could probably put that in the background. We started building this whole thing about 4 to 5 months ago. All right, so let me get...
Charlie asks, what are you doing?
We are working on a train layout today. I'm just getting everybody caught up right now. We're going to do some test runs here in just a minute because I finally have a couple of cars I can throw on behind the engines to test the tracks for all the track work I've been doing. So we are going to be doing that. Right now I'm just getting a picture pulled up to show what we're getting ready to put in this place right here, along with the next skyscraper that's going to go right here. I'm just pulling up this guy's files. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Yes, we are going to have a number of Art Deco as well. Okay, here's what we are going to do. This right here is being heavily modified. This print is being heavily modified. We're taking off all of the, as I hit the picture by accident, and it goes into the big picture, which I don't really need to do. But we'll just go ahead and let it pull up. We're just going to go right here. Okay, so I can't enlarge this anymore because it just doesn't allow you to, but this back area behind the building is being gotten rid of. We're going to have, we've expanded this base double width across here, and it's going to have 2 towers coming up. And actually, it's going to be about 3 times the height of what you see here. Again, we're taking these middle sections out, and we're adding to it, and we're going to make it our own height. That is going to go right here. The double towers are going to go right here, coming all the way up to probably about this height right here. So that's a project that's going to be started where we're going to be going over that coming up in the next live stream. I just didn't have time with working on all these lights up here and getting all that worked out to get the foundation made for this. In addition, at the same time that we're working on that, let me pull up the other one so you can see which one it is that we're going to be doing. It goes right here next to the station and all this. We've already got the file down, and we are in the process of working on it. It's right, I gotta find it. Here, nope, that ain't it. Here, nope, that ain't it. Here, there we go, the gray black. Okay, this guy right here, again, we're gonna make it a lot taller than what it is. This big beast right here, we're gonna take, this foundation is pretty good. We're just gonna make this tower part right here much, much taller. And that's gonna go right there. So that's, these are both projects that we're going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. So you're going to get to see these 2 towers grow, one right here and the double towers right here. You're going to get to see all that growing in the next couple of weeks. So that is what we're doing with that. Let me get this out of the way so we can do some test runs here. So we can test now that I've got, like I said, now that I've got some cars, we're going to do some test runs to see how the track is done with lighter weight things instead of engines. So let's go get that. Okay, this was HO down here. We did have a loop, but I have decided to just pretty much stick with in scale. When we go upstairs to the attic and we build the layout up there, we're going to be doing both HO and N up there. But for right here, since this room is only about 63 square feet, 63, 65 square feet, the area we have, it's really just more, it's just better to do in scale here. Okay, here's what we test with. Twin towers making a comeback. It could be, because we're going to have a twin tower here, and we're going to have a big twin tower here. We may have another one. Actually, we already, well, we got a kind of a triple tower thingy going right here. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this guy right here. I got these cars at a train show. I picked them up for like $5 a piece. They've already got the M-tails on them, and they've got the see-through walkways. I thought it was a pretty good deal for $5 a car. So they're fairly heavy, so I'm hoping that they will handle going around the curve in all the areas that we had to work with. So we're going to give that a shot right now. Let me see. Do I have it hooked up down here? Here's my, yep, I've actually got it hooked up right to the right lead that comes right here. So we're going to, oh, here's kind of a hint. Here's a piece this is part of this new thing that's going right here. This is only one tiny section of the two towers that are going to go across. We got to build a big foundation here. But you'll see that here coming soon. We're actually going to make a construction site out of it. I'm going to put a piece of plastic down to set it on, that I'm going to put dirt and sand on. We're going to put a fence around the whole thing. This is all removable after I get the tower done. Fence around the whole thing. We're going to have cement mixers in here, a huge crane on the back, and then as it gets too tall, we're going to put those tower cranes on top. I've got a STL file to build tower cranes that we can hang off the back side. So you have those big boom arms sticking out here, so it'll look natural going up. We're just going to go up in sections. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are all hand-painted graffiti. I did all that with acrylic paint and just a regular old paintbrush on there. So we actually did a live stream a couple weeks back that I showed how to do that. I've got the car somewhere over here, but I am going to finish that car up too. So, okay, let's give this a shot. So he says this is an expensive hobby. Well, not really. I mean, it can be. It definitely can be. I mean, engine costs and everything are enormous. But everything I have here, as I've gone over before, everything, bench work, track, electronics, scenery materials, foam, whole works, everything to get me to this point right now, right here, including all the plastic we had to use for printing this and printing all of this and this, all of the PLA. I'm only into this for about $425. And that includes this cheap little power pack right here until I get the big DCC power pack. So really, to get to this point, to have this much to run and have this way it's looking already, it's not much money. Okay, so you can do it on a budget if you want to. It just depends upon whether you're willing to do a little bit of extra work like I'm doing with some of the stuff. Like I've said before, I buy used track, and at 50 cents a section, usually from train shows, and then I just take my sandpaper and I clean them completely, and then I paint all my rail, or all the ties. So it just depends upon how you want to do it. All right. Oh, wrong direction. So let's see how it goes. I am not impressed with the couplers on the back of the Catos. I've had issues with the other cars that I've got, and I've seen posts from other people saying it's just not a good coupler. So I'm going to have to replace those. I may have some uncoupling issues with it. We'll just wait and see. Where I'm concerned are all the joints with the cars for uncoupling. Well, it made it around that curve. This is my worst curve right here. This inner curve is the worst curve. It has the worst radius of the bunch. I got to put a power lead over here to get a little power. I have a slowdown right here, right before this joint. So I want to make sure I get some good even power. And kind of see how it's going to be coming under the bridge. We did a video series on this. I've still got some more work to do on that bridge. We'll be finishing that up. So that, yes, we are making progress. I'm actually be able to test with cars now since I found cars. I was testing the inner loop, and I put some of my cars on. I'll show you those here in just a second, that I had weathered and painted. And I'm finding those container cars have issues. I got some used, and when I took the wheels off just to take a look at them, people put washers under there. So I think the issue on the container cars for the most part is going to be clearing the bolsters and having a good radius. So I tried running some around with this Montana Rail Link, and they kept right about here. They kept like binding. And I checked the trucks underneath. I wiggled them back and forth. They were catching. So I'm either going to have to file some of the area underneath down for the wheels to clear, or put washers underneath to get them to drop a little bit to clear the bolsters as well. Okay. Okay, somebody wants to know what the radius is. Radius we have right here, now this is in scale, mind you, so if you're used to HO, it's going to seem awful small. But our radius on our inside one right here is 13 inches. Then they all go up about an inch beyond. Our last one is about 15-inch radius, which, according to NMRA standards, should be able to handle the axles without any problem, which they are now. I've got my 6 axles working fine. They weren't for a while because I had a really hard time right here. I had to really work on that curve. But it seems to be doing okay. All right?
Great Northern says curious about the channel name. Are you in the northern U.S.?
Somebody wants to know if we're in the northern U.S. Yes, we're in Wisconsin. We're in southern Wisconsin, right on the border of Illinois.
The CT Hunter says it's like NASCAR.
It's like NASCAR, yeah. Looks like racetracks. It does. So once we get into all the switching right here and get it to head out over here to the helix, what's going to happen with the helix, like I said, it's going to drop us to the lower level right here. But what it's also going to do is it's going to get us up to this level right here. So it's going to get us, we're going to have the helix get us up to where we can get up to our double elevated track that's up here, because we're going to have 2 tracks right here. So the helix is going to get us up to that, plus get us up to this pink level right here to where we can have some point-to-point running.
Terry says my grandpa was a huge fan of NCO. He had holes in the walls with the NCO track over through it. He stopped the hobby. When he was 73 last year ago, he passed away due to Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that he passed away. Yeah, and skill is fun. I'm not to the point of putting holes in the walls for tunnels yet, but when I get upstairs to the attic, that might be the case, because there's a couple areas that go back into storage that would be a great place to put some tunnels to extend the running area.
Isaac recommends the NKU 755.
Okay.
Says an engine jet. Terry says, hey, I'm in Wisconsin too. I'm in southern Wisconsin.
Oh, southern Wisconsin, Terry is. Well, it's a great place to be. We moved here from Omaha. Yes.
He says, I heard it gets cold there. Haha.
Yeah, it does get cold here. But you know, when we lived in Omaha, the wind chills coming off mountains and the ice, it seemed to me over there, it could get a lot colder in the Omaha area. Because it gets the same weather that we get here, but just off the slopes of the Rockies makes it really nasty. And you get wind all the time.
Andrew says hello.
Hello, Andrew. Glad you've joined us.
And so there's always hot train.
Uh-huh.
There's Alice.
Uh-huh.
Terry says, is it snowing in your place?
Oh, it's snowing where he is. Okay.
No, yeah.
Oh, if it's snowing here?
Here.
Not yet. We are actually heading into a decent warm-up right now. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to move the cars from this track to behind these guys, and we're going to test that outer loop. We have, I actually saw on the weather forecast that we are supposed to be getting like high 40s coming up this week. So it's going to be actually very pleasant. So I'm looking forward to that, because we have that issue with our pipes in the attic that this year I forgot to leave open, and I keep forgetting to leave open and keep freezing on me. So, we have a bathroom up there. So I'm looking forward to having a warm up, and I know we're not done with winter. It's going to feel like it this week, but I know we're not done with winter yet.
Shannon says, dang, that's some heavy hauling.
Yeah, well, not quite. We'll get there. I'm just testing today. I finally found some cars that have compatible couplers to the Katos that I have, so we are just doing some testing here. All right, let me switch out my leads.
Terry says, where I am, it's snowing like crazy. We already had 3 snowstorms.
So you already had 3 snowstorms this year. Yeah, that's kind of about where we are. Our first ones that started the season off were really heavy. We picked up almost 2 feet of snow with those. But since then, they haven't been so bad. Okay, let's give this guy back here a try, and we'll see how the outer loop does. See how I have not tested the outer, like I said, I have not tested the inner or the outer loops with all the joints and the cars. This is mostly just seeing how the cars are doing. And then just snow in the UK and shuts the country down. I understand that. I grew up in New Mexico for 30 years in Albuquerque, and I can count on one hand the total number of probably snow removal vehicles that I've ever seen there. And it would close the schools if we got an inch of snow. But by the afternoon, because you're in the high desert, well, see, there's the problem with those couplers. Because we're in the high desert, it would melt by the afternoon. So and I literally, on probably two hands, I can count the total times that I ever had snow days in school. You just didn't get it there. But the trade-off with that was no seasons. I mean, it takes 50, 60 degrees all winter long. So, you know, do you want seasons or do you want just the regular, just having tips like that? And I wanted seasons. After growing up that way, I've just wanted to be able to enjoy having 4 full seasons, and we have for the most part. Things are starting to warm up here around us now, though. We didn't even have a white Christmas this year. Everything that we had melted that we got in our first snows. So, bye by train. Yeah, disconnected. Like I said, these couplers on the Katos, I'm just not happy with them, so I'm going to replace all those. They're cheap. It just takes a little bit of work underneath, just taking that coupler pocket off, I think, and getting the new ones put on. So we'll see. Right here's where it uncoupled the last time, so we'll see how it does now. It's doing okay now. Yes, Amazon does sell cheap controllers, and depending upon what your engines are, whether they're their old DC like this, these aren't old. I just don't have the boards in them yet. You just need to decide what kind of a controller you need to have for what you've got. So the thing to do is research and see if it's a DC or a DCC, and then you can pick up stuff pretty cheap on Amazon or eBay or at a local train show. So you can do either way. I buy a lot of stuff from local train shows. The only thing is a lot of people may not have the ability to get to a local train show like we do here. Seriously, right around us, we have probably about 20 train shows a year in the varying cities around us. We're only 45, 50 miles from Chicago, 40, 45 miles from Milwaukee. We're about 40 miles from Madison. So we get train shows, and all the little towns around here all have their own train shows. So I can get out and get really good cheap deals because everybody brings out their collections for sale. So, but if you get a train show in your area, it's definitely worth visiting. I'll show you here in just a second. I'm going to bring this around. Like I said, I'm just doing DC right now. I'm going to get I'm probably going to, well, I'm not probably, I know I'm going to probably, well, stop saying probably. I'm going to go with the Digitrax Chief system because I've worked with Digitrax before, and one of our local hobby shops has them all at 50% off right now. So I'm gonna save up and do that. Okay. Yep, I'm going to pull this to a stop. Well, actually, we're just going to let it go. I want to see how often it's going to uncouple while we're answering questions. In Finland, yeah. I can understand that. You guys are prepared for it. I actually watch a live stream in Levi where you have your Olympic testing, and excuse me, it seems like everybody just gets out and goes. Yes, they do. Minnesota does give you all 4 in a long winter. Yep, same with central and northern Wisconsin. Yes, train shows are definitely the best place to get them. That's not unusual to find good engines for $100 there. I'll give you a good example of that. I got this at one of the last train shows. This is kind of a rare engine. I'm going to have this on the Surfliners. This one, I bought it for $75, and you can't find it usually online for cheaper than almost $200. So, yeah, if you can get to a train show, it's the best thing to do.
Archie says we have two seasons, hurricane and non-hurricane.
Yeah, that's true. Hurricane, not hurricane. Yes, I watch the weather quite a bit. I'm old, so we watch the Weather Channel a lot. So, so I see what goes on around the country. And yes, I can see that. That you guys get a lot of that. And that's about it. Rain or no rain.
Terry says I've got a bunch of them in our gift cards. I just went down to get train tracks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Menards has got some great equipment. And they uncoupled right back here. So we're going to go back and we're going to go pick it up. See if we can pick it up and bring it back out. Then we're going to start working on scenery.
Greg Norman says I started a little over a year ago in HO, and now I'm thinking I should have gone ahead.
Yeah, my dad was always in scale or HO scale. So this is kind of a jump for me because all I've ever had around is HO. But then see, I'm going to have to get that coupler. It's not these little couplers in the cars. It's the engine coupler. This for my space works perfectly. So I guess it just all depends on what you're trying to do, how much you want in. Because if I wanted to, I could have a great loop right here in HO with maybe like 4 or 5 industries, like maybe one on each wall, and do some good running. It's just you wouldn't have the expansiveness like we have with building a monster city right here. So it just all kind of depends on what you're wanting to do. Okay.
Yeah, my biggest issue is space.
Space. That's all. That's the model railroader's lament is space. That and budget. So, and I find N-Scale's a lot cheaper too. So,
Opposite says we have snowplows. They start their days at 4 to 5 in the morning.
4 to 5 in the morning. Yep, for the snow plows. Same thing around here. When we get snows coming in, our crews here really get on it. And they get on it pretty quick. So, all right. Somebody asked, well, I like steam train or diesel? I like them both equally. I did this drawing right here. This is this was done with graphite pencil and a clear plastic ruler. These are prints of the originals. I love steam engines, but I also just love diesels. So I'm partial to articulate steam engines or streamliners, and the diesels mostly modern. I really like the ES44s, the SD70 ACEs, all that kind of stuff. So I just like both eras, and I'll probably wind up running both of them. And I'll just say in my world that those steam engines that I run have been restored and are back on the rails. So, all right. So I think what we're going to do here, I'm just dreading working on this thing right here because I know this is going to be where I looking at how I was going to have to see right here. Where is it? Glad to see you. Just working on trains. See this thing right here? This along with another piece goes, let's see, like this. So I'm going to have to attach this to the back of this before I can really get into a lot of the roof work. But I am going to try today to get all of the pieces to where I can just set them on. I'm going to try to make this U-shaped roof, this one, and this right here.
Terry says you got the answer right.
I got the answer right. Is that on the steam and diesels? Yes. Yes, that you it's the you just have to have both, in my opinion. All right, so I think I'm going to turn the lights on. I've got those extra lights right here that I don't have on right now. I'm going to get those on so I get a little more light casting right here. So while I'm building up my resolve to work on that station, we're going to do a little more of the landscaping here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this and get all this foam out of the way because it's going to fall onto this. So actually probably what I'm going to do is I'll probably go ahead. I'm going to reposition this so you can see it a little better as I'm working on this. All right.
Terry says I recently bought myself an Polar Express.
Oh, Polar Express. That's a good one. Lionel, big gauge. Okay, so let me get my X-Acto blade because that's what I use to carve all this out. And let me get my joint compound. I'm almost out of it. I'm going to have to go restock on this. I'm hoping I have enough to do that little section right there. We'll see. We'll see. Keep my fingers crossed. Do what?
Arsky says I'm running both also.
Running both also. Yep. All right. So some people have asked recently how I did all of this rock wall right here. So I'm going to show what I do with this right here. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to put there, but I don't like that. I want to have that kind of area completed. So when I put my scenery down there, it's no big deal. It'll blend in for a while. I got to kind of get the stuff out of the way so I can work my way back there. Lionel? Yeah, they're pretty good. All right. So, do what now? It's really on the edge of the layout right now at this point. Yeah. Did that do anything for it?
Yeah, that probably did.
Hey, let me see what I can do here. Get a little better angle on this. I just don't really want the tripod sitting on my tracks.
You want it pointing down so it doesn't block the chat.
Okay. How's that? Is it up high enough for the chat not to block it?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so.
RC says road trip back to Hobbytown.
Road trip back to Hobbytown. Yeah, pretty much. So next time we go to Hobbytown, we'll drag you guys with us. See what's new there, plus pick up stuff. All right, so just plain old, I'm missing one of my tools here. Hang on just a sec. Just a plain old X-Acto blade pretty much covers all of this. I've got to get the brush that I use to do some texturing with. So I've got it around here somewhere. I just got to find it. I wasn't planning on doing this carving, but since people had asked how I do the carving, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do it today. I saw Norfolk Southern for the first time. I love their engines, especially their heritage units. Okay, so we're pretty good. I got everything I need now. Except for the one thing I went look for. Where'd it go? Where'd my brush go? I just had it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to carve this little section out, and then I'm going to joint compound what I need to get these textures and stuff. Let me see. Can you see what I'm pointing at here? You know, I'm gonna angle this a little bit more so you can compare. There we go. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to bring this on around. I'm going to have to cut some of this out so that I have a more natural curve coming around. So what we'll do is you just use your plain old X-Acto, and I try to give myself like a midway point to start off with. So I'll cut down and give myself a ledge that I'll either take up or down. So here we go. You just pop it off. Well, that's an old set. Oh, very good. Why don't I use Marklin? There's just no place around here that really sells it without just ordering it in. So I probably will be bringing more foreign lines in because I'm definitely going to be running English trains as well when we get to that point. You see how it's starting to create all that jaggedness. I kind of just when I peel it off, I just kind of let, as it breaks, let the foam decide how this is going to go. Now let me see here. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty sturdy. Somebody asked, we buy any of our products in bulk to resell to make our money back. When we go to a train show, if I can work a deal for like, I usually do it towards the end of the show. I buy about maybe half a guy's table and usually get it fairly reasonable. And I'll keep what I want, and then I generally sell the rest to fund what I've kept. So yes, I do that. I do. Me and my do-dos.
Michael says, sounds like styrofoam.
It is. It's insulation foam.
And also happy Saturday.
Yeah, and happy Saturday to you too. Yes, this is actually just pink insulation foam. And I had to get a 2-inch height right here, so I only had an 1.5 inches left over from another project, and I had a 1/2 inch. So I just combined the two together. I don't have anything glued together. What I've actually done is on the underside, because I don't know if I'm ever going to move these around or not. On the underside, I've actually taken 2-inch screws and I've come up through, and it bites. And in fact, I'm getting ready to do the backside of this whole area in that. Just putting the screws up in. It just locks it all down, but it allows me later, if I want to change it out without having all the glue there to have to deal with.
Antonio says hello from Seville.
Hello from Seville. Glad you joined us. All right, I'm going to bring this little ledge around a little bit. I want to. There.
John says when it comes to hobbies, I'm dangerous. LOL. I'll buy everything in bulk.
Buy everything in bulk. Yes. Yeah, that's, if you can do it, that's the way to do it. And then just resell what you don't want, and that just pays for your hobby. Okay, for just a little bump out area that I'm not going to really probably do anything with, I'm probably going to wind up actually covering this with maybe concrete, like a concrete abutment later. I think I'm pretty good. So let me get rid of all of this off of here. So this is why I didn't want to do the landscaping right here just yet, because I knew I was going to have problems with this, plus the joint compound when I go smearing the joint compound up here. Oh, I forgot to do my ledge.
Terry says I wish I could go down and do my trade set while I'm watching this.
Oh, well, you can take your phone with you and work on it. All right, see what we did here? Oh, nice. That gave me a really nice rip up right there. It's going to look, the stone right there is going to look great. That's what I did all along the top up here, is after you get the sides done, is you just come in and you pop little bits off of your transition.
Michael says going to the swap meet this morning. I'll keep an eye out for trades, planes, and automobiles.
There you go. Swap meets are great places to go, and usually those guys are just selling that because they're just they got it like in an estate or something, and they don't really know what they've got, and they're just dumping stuff.
Says hello, and what are you making?
Hello, I'm making a rock wall right here, like you see right here. I'll get the camera angle a little bit better. But I have a rock wall that goes that way a long ways, and I did wrap this around the corner because I want to finish my scenery right here today. In order to do that, I need to have this done because I've got to put some joint compound up on here to finish it, and I don't want anything dropping down to my scenery. So I'm just trying to get this taken care of. Right now, we're just carving rock is what we're doing.
Michael says love estate sales.
Yes, estate sales are great too. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way right here. I'm gonna. Oh, I painted the rest of this yesterday. Those of you who were with us on our last live stream, you'll probably see that I took the brown paint out a lot farther. When we were here on the last live, it was only to like right here. I went ahead and got all the rest of the brown, and I did my weathering on top with my different colors. So it's all set to go. I'll get a brush and I'll brush. Do what?
Josh says people pay overpriced for specialist products and kits. You can buy a pallet of insulation and then resell the kit, foam, knife, compound, make 1,000 kits.
Right. Yeah. There's easy ways. You can actually go like the back of big department stores. So, for example, when they bring out new products like new appliances and stuff, and all the boxes and stuff will be back in their dumpsters. And some of them you can get to pretty easily, and you can just pick up foam that way because those things are usually loaded with foam. Okay, so as you can see here, my tub of this is almost empty. So I'm going to see what I can do as far as getting this thing skimmed, the surface skimmed. I'm hoping I still have enough wet here to fill all the gaps. I'm trying to keep my hand to the side so you guys can actually see what it is I'm doing. Uh-huh. Trash on the track spot. Yeah. Yep. All right. And the thing about I use just a regular popsicle stick. The thing about it is that it gives you really good, um, like crags and stuff. You can smooth it however smooth you want to get it, but you can also leave these great streaks like this. If you can see, I think oh, you know what? Gosh. Hang on a sec. There. That might have helped.
Terry says I went to a trade show and something like that. He bought some trade cars for $100. It was a deal. I bought them somewhere broken. No biggie. I'm a trade expert. I can fix small big trade.
$100 for a full box of trains. That's a pretty good deal these days.
Franklin asks, what is some good advice for a person making a layout?
I'm actually probably the last person to ask that because everybody that's watched this has really commented that I've done everything kind of backwards, but that I do it the way I like to do it. Most people, the best way to start is for most people is they get their track plan figured out, and then they get the bench work done. Hang on, I'm trading over to this one's got a little more of a solid side to it. I want to get some of these streaks out. There we go. Me, I wanted the focus to be on scenery more than it was the track operations. So for me, what I did, if you've been with us for the live streams, you guys know this, is I started out just working on scenery details. I kind of had an idea where the track wanted to go, where I wanted to put the track at, but not for sure. Excuse me. These 3 tracks that we have here now, they weren't here like a month ago. I finally settled on a basic plan and just started doing the track work just recently. So, but most people just they get a track plan. You got their software for doing that, or you can just draw it out on a piece of paper. Figure out what you can fit in the space that you have. And then start building from there. Now I need a paper towel here. I need to get the end of this thing clean. Here we go. Do what now? Well, hello there. Glad you've joined us.
Michael says detail work.
Detail work. Yes, that's what we're doing today. We're doing landscape detail work. You see this gap between these 2 things right here that I'm pushing this joint compound in there, and this will make a nice, it'll suck down in there and it'll make a nice hard surface. And if any of the cracking comes back, I'll just incorporate it into the, when I paint it, I'll actually come back in, I'll carve a little bit and make the crack part of it. But for the most part, we're just going to try to cover it as much as we can. And this dries, if you've ever worked with joint compound, it just dries hard as a rock. I'll probably come in here and once it sets up, I'll use this. I'll show you here. I use this and I scratch some extra lines in on the surface just to get some weathered areas where the rain has done its job, the water.
Got a couple things here.
Sure.
All right. Didn't ask what's the layout, loop, figure 8, or custom?
It's custom. The layout is custom. Right now we have a loop, but it will be going to a multi-level, and I'll throughout the broadcast today, I will take time and we'll review the layout. I'll just give you guys a tour of the layout from time to time, so you can see where it is. It's actually a multi-level, and we'll be utilizing a helix to get to the lower level, and also to the 3 levels that are on this upper level, because we have a high line for an elevated track. We have the line that's going to be on the pink right here that's going to be point to point for industry. And then we have our staging loop, our 3 loops that go here that are right below the camera right here that will be where we stage all the trains and handle the passenger service that is going to be underneath the station that we're going to be working on after a while. Okay.
Mario asks, can I see your trains, or do you have it?
We were just test running some, and we'll be test running some trains. So we want to know if you can see the trains. We will be running some trains here. As soon as I get started working on the scenery right here, I always test to make sure I haven't gotten anything on my track. So we will be doing test runs, and you can see I don't have a whole lot of rolling stock or equipment. Well, I've got a lot of rolling stock, but it's all boxed away. I only have about 5 engines right now, so I've just been testing with 3 of them. But you'll get to see those along with a couple of cars that we will be using to test to make sure everything is staying operational. Okay.
Colin Domestic says, I want to come bring you some G-gauge rails and steel drives me nuts.
G-gauge. Well, I don't think I'd fit G-gauge in this room. I only have 65 square feet to work with right here. So I don't even know if I don't even know if that would accommodate a loop. Probably, but it'd be very tight.
He says, I actually only have / use that scale. Nice to see someone else using it. That scale is so
It is, and it is difficult to work with. Coming from HO most of my life with my dad, scaling down. That's been the hardest part, is mentally and visually scaling down. But we've pretty much got all of our percentages now figured out for various things that we're working on. So it's starting to come together a lot easier now.
Wilderness Wild says, hi, remember me?
Hi, yes, I think so.
Tupu asks, do you like the Japanese model made for Tomix?
Yes, actually, we've had a few things from Tomix. They're pretty good.
Terry asks, what's happening to your finger?
It's got a little bit of a problem underneath there, so I'm just protecting it right now.
I really want to see your train.
We will be getting to the trains in a little bit. I promise we will. Right now, I've just got to stay focused on getting all of this done while it's nice and wet. Because today is going to be a lot of scenery, a lot of different things that we're going to be working on. So I just want to make sure I get this really good to start off with.
Jeff says, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Good luck on the layout.
Oh, Jeff, thanks. Same to you. Happy New Year to you, too. Okay, I think...
Winter asks, have you seen the miniature Wonderland in Hamburg, Germany?
Wondered if we've seen the miniature Wonderland in Germany. I haven't seen it personally, but I've seen a ton of videos about it. It's absolutely amazing. I love the airport. I love watching those planes land and take off. I think that is the coolest thing ever. That and the actual ships working on real water. I think that's amazing.
Noel says hello.
Hello, Noel.
Jeff says my layout is related to recreation and forestry.
Oh, cool. So probably logging and things. That'd be neat.
Allie says, yo, I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, thank you, Allie.
Terry says, yesterday I was fixing a darn old Bachman. I hate Bachman trains. Can't get enough out of them. I was fixing one of the drivers.
Yeah, the older Bachmans have issues. If you can take your time and have the ability to go through them, you can make them good running engines. My dad had a whole bunch of Spectrum stuff, and he enjoyed them. But he would go through and he would do everything to them. Grease, oil, file, sand, where they were really good runners. I mean, they're not usually an out-of-the-box type of thing, the older units. You got to, like I said, you got to do a little bit to them. But once you have, he enjoyed what he had. Okay. I think, I'm going to take a look here. I like that. It looks like it's blending well around the corner right here. I was hoping to get this to look as it was here. It's kind of hard sometimes when you come back to doing a certain type of thing to get it to match what you've already got. So I think that does, though. I think that's pretty good. So next step on this is this really has to dry. By this afternoon, it should be pretty dry to where I can use the brush and do the rest of the stuff. But it really has to be dry before you put the paint on it. So I will save this until next time to paint it, to show you guys how I get all these colors and everything right here to come around to get it to blend in with this. I only use one color paint. It's granite from Apple Barrel. It's just an acrylic paint. And I darken it and thin it. I thin it to make it the washes and darken it to get my shadow areas like these, and then I use a white mixed in to get the light highlights. So I just use one color paint, and that's how we get all of that. So we will do that the next time, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... Okay.
Archie says it's on my bucket list to go to Wonderland.
Yes, definitely. That is a bucket list item.
Allie says I got a GP9 short nose.
Oh, GP9 short nose. Those are cool old engines.
Hendrick says my old Bachman locos are dead.
Old Bachman locos are dead. They can be revived. You just got to take your time.
Derek Scary says, hey, that looks great. I'm going to have to remember about Brick Legend. That foam can be used for anything. Good idea.
Yes, the foam can be used for anything. I've carved tons of stuff with the foam. Everything from brick walls, stone walls, all the way up to carvings like this.
Well, Jeff says, I see you have Atlas switches. Those boxes there in the back of the shelf.
Yes, we do have Atlas switches. Yes.
Goose Tag says, happy late New Year.
Yes, happy late New Year to you.
Funny Meister says, the gears of the older Bachman locomotives have trouble with them cracking.
Yeah, the gears, but you can buy replacements online fairly cheap. So if it's something you really want to keep, I would recommend just replacing it. All right, you guys are going to hear me stirring glue. I'm stirring glue back here because we're getting ready to work this area right here. I think where the camera is, I think you guys will be able to see pretty much everything I'm doing. That extra light I put up there really does help.
Fred says, choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Bill Ellis asks, as an experienced train hobbyist, what's the best track system?
Somebody asked what the best track system for N-scale is. It depends on what you're wanting to achieve. The Kato Unitrack, people love that, and I have some pieces myself for just setting up and doing just runs, just having fun. But the thing is here, I'll show you here in just a sec. Hang on. All I got to do is just place this camera back in place, but I'll show what you can achieve with flex track and roadbed. Here's my roadbed. You're not going to get that on any kind of a snap track. This is just time. We did a live feed a little while ago that showed, a couple of weeks ago, that showed how to do this. I plan on doing another one, another live feed on it, because I've got roughly all of this to do all the way around 3 tracks. I estimated I've got about 20 hours of ballasting that I have to do all along through here. So we probably will do a ballast day. So we will definitely, I'll re-show how to do all of that to get those effects where you get the tracks separated, the stuff in between. Because I started doing that right here when we did the landscaping on this back corner. I don't remember what day we were doing that. Just past live stream or two. So, all right, I'm going to set this right here. I think this will be no, because then my hand's going to get in the way. So let's see if I can set this over here.
RSP says, looking forward to boxes and release of light rail trains.
Oh, well, there's a lot of stuff's been canceled lately, so at least they haven't canceled the release date.
Terry says it's probably too late now, but if you put foam on your layout, it'll make your train not as loud.
Right, yeah, if you put foam on the layout, it won't be as loud. This right here, our roadbed is foam. So I didn't go with cork, and it's actually very, very quiet. So I went with that option versus doing the foam at this level. Now we have foam up here, and we'll have foam. We have 1/2-inch foam all the way around down below. But this area right here, going with the foam roadbed, was not just economical, but it's also a great sound deadener. So we do have foam. Oh.
Derek says, believe it or not, I went to Hobby Lobby and they have scale track and they have some scale trains, so I bought one.
Oh yeah. A lot of Hobby Lobbies used to carry a lot of train stuff. Now ours around in this area, they only carry scenery. That's all we can get. All right, let me get.
Says, howdy, I love trains.
Hello, glad you joined us.
Derek says, wow, that looks really good. I would have never thought you got that much done in so little time.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I move pretty quick once I get going. It's just getting going. That's that's the hard part. Okay. It's a combination of what I buy. All my track is secondhand. I recondition it. I use 600 grit sandpaper to sand all the track down to the way it was originally to get it completely clean, and then I hand paint all the ties. Most of my rolling stock, the engines anyway, are all brand new. What did I come over here to look for? Oh yeah, the sand. And the get all the sand here. Most of the cars, well, I have a mixture of used and new cars, so it just depends. But I do a combination of both.
Caroline says, ask, are you planning to add some Magna rails on it?
Magna rails. Do you mean maglev rails, or do you mean magnets that you use for coupling and uncoupling? That I'm not sure. Once we figure that out, I'll answer that. Okay, so
It's the magnets that are under, like, the cars.
you mean maglev?
No. Like, you know how the actual cars move around on the roads?
For automobiles.
Yeah,
Yes, we do plan on doing some of that in the city, because we'll be placing stuff down. The actual roadways will be placed down. We've got a material we're going to use for that, and then underneath those that we want to have actual running vehicles, we will have some, because there's going to be a main road that's going to go all the way through the city. All right. So now we're going to go back to what we were doing the other day. I'm going to just start. I'm probably going to start just right here, or maybe I'll do here and work my way this way. Okay, so let's do that. So, like before, I just have my eyedropper. I keep it always in a cup of water like this, so that glue doesn't dry in there or anything. And I do this to get it cleaned out. So we've got that. Train houses from Goodwill. That's not a surprise. I've seen people post stuff. They've done really great stuff at Goodwill. I never have, but as far as trade stuff goes, but I've seen people. All right, so I'll show you the cup here. This is my glue mix. It's about 1/5 glue, 4/5 water, and a couple of good squirts of Ajax detergent in it, so it'll penetrate. All right, so we're going to just come right here, and I'm just going to come out this way. And we're just going to do our dirt section right in the middle like we did coming to this point.
Doyle says hello and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Doyle. Somebody asked if I have any locomotives that have smoke. No. And I probably won't, because I'm just not that fond of the smell. And this being a bedroom on the second floor, I think my wife would probably kick me out if I started stinking up our place where we sleep at night. Okay, so I'm using Earth from Woodland Scenics. I don't know if that's in the image, but it's there. I pour some into the cap like this, and you're just going to do this like pinching salt. So we're just going to come right down. I'm just putting this right in the middle between the rails, right in the dirt area. Well, right in the brown area, right in the center. We're just building up some texture, some high and low areas on the surface, so that when I do the ballasting, there's like a natural stop to it. We have a little like almost a wall built up right here. Okay, so I'll come and finish around the curve right here, and then we'll hit this huge area right here. I'm still trying to get up the gumption to work on that station today, doing that roof on that station, but I know I'm probably going to figure out something else I want to work on prior to doing that. Gabe, do you see this on the lens way over here where I'm working or not? Well, that's all right. You'd have to get inside the thing to do it. I'll shift it a little bit. Well, actually, this is really out here at the end. It's really not where I'm going to be working the most. Where I'm going to be working the most is this area right here. Do you see this area right here really well? refresh, right here.
Yeah.
This is where I'm gonna be doing most of the work is right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this finished. You guys aren't gonna see probably this. It's probably gonna be out of frame, but what I just did between the tracks, I'm just coming on around the curve here to the straight stretch where I'm gonna stop because like I said, I don't know where I'm gonna be putting switches yet at this point. So I'm just gonna stop here until I get all that figured out. Because I know if I was to go any further, more than likely I'd have to cut the stuff out from in between anyway. So no point in doing that. All right, so that's good to there. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to do same thing, lots of it right here. Oh, there's something I can do without having to work on the station. I got to paint my ties. Yeah, more stuff to have to do. No, I haven't heard of that engine. Um, this is for our layout, and the railroads, we're just going to run a whole variety of engines. I'm going to be doing a bunch of Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific, BNSF, a lot of different passenger trains from around the country and world. I'm going to have some European stuff too, so it's just kind of everything. All right, so now we're getting into the big area here. We're just putting the glue down where I need to put the dirt. Not dirt, well, earth. Earth, dirt, dirt, earth. Yep, I do too. Well, actually, I love both eras. Just depends on what the engines are. I'm mostly in frame. Okay. As long as you guys can see this, and I'm trying to work on the other side because we had some issues last time. I wasn't able, and somebody made a comment that my hand was in the way too much. So I tried. That's why I put all those. I really worked on getting all that lighting set up so that you guys will be able to see all this work a little bit better. I mean, my hand's going to be in there from time to time, but as I move towards me, you'll be able to see it actually come together. So, all right, I'm going to start with this, and then I'll get this batch right here in just a little while. Back. Yep, that's how I am. I've got 5 engines and I'm good because I'm able to test everything and do what I got to do. All right, so we're gonna. I've got a big area here to do, so I know that's not enough of the earth. So we're just going to do that. All right. So that's fine. It's not drying. So here we go. You guys should be able to see that pretty good. Usually I work a lot closer to the surface, but I figured this way you can see what I'm doing. I'm concentrating on a middle swath. I'm going to try to stay away from edges because that's where the sand goes. The sand material, dirt material that I have goes. So for right now, we're just going to be doing this. And I'll get this crack taken care of too. It's no big deal. I forgot to put a little bit of glue right there to get into that area, but we'll get that in a sec. So again, we're just building up some texture. High areas, low areas. Yep. I love their heritage units. We'll probably have all of those eventually. All right. Here we go. That's pretty good. I'm going to come back and put some glue right there and get that area taken care of. Then I'll get this back area in. All right. Get a little dropper. Oh, yeah, 6 foot by 4 foot. You can have a layout in that size, no problem. That's the thing is, I mean, that'd be you could have a good loop for HO, or you could have a decent size layout and in. All right, I'm going to come in along this crack. It says best thing it was on pulley. Oh, that's a good way to store it, but you're just dropping it from the bedroom ceiling. Yep, that's pretty good. Derek says, I wonder if you could crush concrete with a little bit more detail, especially if I make it. what I use, and I'll show you here in just a sec. I'm just filling this crack in right here. I guess it depends on what scale you're using, but there we go. And I'll blend that out onto each side a little more, so it doesn't look like a line. And I'll go over it with sand too. I use tube sand that is always available in the wintertime at home places. I'll show you here. This is what I'm going to use. It has such a great variety of size in it. All the way down from fine sand. I've sifted some out, and I've got just some bigger chunks of some really fine sand right there. All the way out to good sized rocks. If you were with us the other day, you saw how, I just drops. I pick up a pinch of it just like I do the earth, and we just roll with it. And whatever drops, wherever it drops, is where it goes. Welcome back, Andrew.
James says, hi, how are you?
Who did that?
James.
Oh, doing good, James. How are you doing? We're just working on the layout, doing some scenery here. Trust me, it looks terrible right now, but if you were with us the other day, you know that's not how it's going to stay. This is just the first of like 3 or 4 different materials that I use to create the area. All right.
We were about 12 on that layout, but Nate's dad helped. He had the call scale,
Just Hornby, okay. Because Hornby is probably 00.
Sorry for going rambling on.
Oh no, it's fine. You're not rambling on at all. I ramble on. I mean, I'll get off on a tangent about something, and you guys will hear the whole history that we have of my family with the railroad. Rambling on is a good thing. All right, so we're just going to come in here.
Yeah, that looks really good. Where do I get it at?
The material, you can find this online, or pretty much any hobby shop will have it, but you can find it online easy enough. What I'm using right now is the fine turf from Woodland Scenics. Earth color.
Mary says, okay, I have to go downstairs and run my trains while watching this. I can't hold back.
Well, go have fun running the trains, yes. It's a good thing to do on a Saturday. I'm trying to get myself to that point where I can just run. And when we do, we are going to have just run days to where I'm just going to set the camera up, and we are just going to just have stuff going around between both levels, up all the multiple levels up here, and we're just going to let it go. And there may be times where we may just turn it on at night and leave it on. Just have stuff going around. That'll be after I'm sure I have all my track completely perfect, so that when we're asleep, if that's what the time is, it won't derail and cause all kinds of problems. Well, good. Well, slot cars are pretty cool too, and you can get crossover sets. They have a great crossover set. I don't know who makes it. It has slot cars with a railroad crossing, and you can run trains and slot cars.
Derek says, I just found out that there's a local train shop near my house. I never even knew it was there.
Oh, well, very good. It's hard to find train shops these days. It really is. A lot of them gone out of business, unfortunately. So a lot of the brick and mortar mom and pops are gone. We have a few around here still, just because in our area, I found out, I don't know, through an MRA or something, we have the largest per capita population of model railroaders in the country within about 50 miles of radius of us. So there's a lot of stuff here to support the hobby. A lot of people here to support the hobby. So you get a little more as far as flexibility with having the traditional hobby shops to the big corporate ones. I just had to get a little something to drink there. A little froggy today. Okay. Oh, good. He says he has a train set from his dad from the 1950s. So it is fun. It is fun.
Which asks where we're at.
We are in southern Wisconsin. Excuse me, on the border of Illinois, south central Wisconsin, on the border with Illinois. All right. So next step is going to be coming and putting glue along the edges right here, and I'll soak it enough to where it'll spread into this and it'll really lock this down, and then we'll start working on putting the sand in. So back to the glue. I use a paper towel just to get the bubbles off from the glue when I get it out of the cup.
It says lots of track.
Lots of track advantage stuff. Well, cool. I'm coming right up to the track right here as close as I can. I mean, I know the road bed's going to come down, but I'm going to try to get the sand built up to there. I'll use the finer sand closest to the track so there's not a lot of rock and things. I'll start with that area. I'm going to try to work this area right here. I'm not going to worry about putting it back here yet. I just really want this area around the track here to really work itself in pretty good. You can hear that. I don't know if you heard that. Listen. That's how hard my landscape material has become. It's a solid rock. That's just, and that I don't even have my second coat of glue on it yet. You hear that? It's just not going anywhere ever.
Nick says, I go, but I've just subscribed, dude. I'll be back.
Oh, well, thanks, Nick. Glad you were here. Okay, so I'm trying to get this down to where I've got mostly the fine sand. And we're just going to come along right here. I'm going to have to go with my other hand.
Rich says, awesome. I have my own train set. I have HO and scale. I'm
Oh, HO and N, perfect. We're going to have both HO and N when we do the layout upstairs. Right now, given the size limitations, all I'm doing is in scale here. You see I'm getting this finer sand right up to the road bed. And again, the reason for that is that way when I put the ballast down on the road bed, there's not a lot of stuff built up here on the side that's going to flatten this ridge that the road bed does. Now, while it's wet here, we're just going to start just.
Terry says, I'm back. Finally, I can hear you. My little brother was being
Well, I'm glad you're back. And you can hear us now.
Rich says, looks good.
Thank you.
Carter says, hello.
Hello, Carter. All right, so we're just going to be coming right along here. Again, we're just doing the real fine sand. This stuff is great. Somebody asked if this sand has salt in it where it's a winter sand, and no, it doesn't. This is weight sand for the back of trucks. We checked it out, and there's no sand, or not sand, but salt in it. Sorry, if there's salt in it, and no, there is no salt in this whatsoever. It is just strictly for weight. So we bought a bag of this. It was a 45-pound bag, and it was $3.70. You can't get much cheaper for landscaping than that, because more than likely this one bag will do both levels for us. All of this, both levels. So $3.70 for this, and then the earth is a little more expensive, the stuff from Woodland Scenics, but I use that sparingly just to build stuff up. This is what I do most of the material for my landscaping is done with this. So this is pretty cost effective here. And any of your home improvement places will have this. So you just, nah. You can put it up there if you want.
Oh, I did.
Okay. Lionel Pennsylvania Flyer and the Polar Express. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Now we're going to start coming in. Now this is why I painted the brown underneath, because I'm actually going to leave some of this brown visible in spots, just to give an added color. So you're probably thinking, well, you painted all that and then you're just covering it all. Well, no, I don't. I'll show you on the other side. You'll actually see spots where you can see it coming through. So you do want to do a base color of some sort, not just on plain plaster white. If you do that, you're going to have to cover every bit of it. This allows you the ability to actually create almost like a painting, instead of just throwing nothing but earth or grass on here and it's all one solid color. This gives you that ability to really change that up. Now I've got a little hole right here that has a screw in it, so I'm going to fill that in. Now that's not worry about that. And then we're just going to start coming across here. And we're just going to start throwing this in spots. And the little bits that drop out are just fine. The larger rock, because that'll be perfect wherever they land, just be very random. This is still really wet, so it'll take this without any problem. And again, I'll do a second coat if it doesn't harden up completely the way I want it. Okay, so we've done most of this up to this side right here. There's a little bit right here I want to get. And then I'll come and do this back side over here. You can see I'm just letting it just drop randomly. That's what you want. And I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add more of the earth back on top. So you're thinking, well, you put all that earth on there, and all I did with the earth was just create, like I said, the first layer of the earth was just to create texture. So now we're just kind of filling in. And then I'll come back in with some earth on the top so I can get that nice dark area right here in the middle again. I do too. I like trains a lot. Somebody asked if you can use sand right from the garden. Sure. I would do a filter process. I would like shake out any debris and stuff out of it. But yeah, you could. I see people go out and actually use dirt from the garden and use that. So instead of using the earth from Woodland Scenics, you can do that too. So yes, you can certainly do that. I just at $3.70, I thought, well, saves me with a shovel and out there and a screen and everything. So all right, so now we're going to build up right here. I'm going to try to get kind of close to this rock I was working on that we were carving earlier and doing the plaster on. But I am going to leave a bit of a gap right there because when I do the gray painting, it's going to cover some of this paint right along here. So I'm going to make sure I leave space. And after I get done painting the gray on the wall, then I'll come back in and I'll float the glue right next to it and I'll fill all that in with the landscape material. Now here's what I was talking about as far as why you use a detergent. All right, now watch what happens with, some of you probably know this, some of you don't. Watch what happens when I drop a thing on here. You see how that just went right in? If you didn't do that, the glue would ball up on the surface and draw all the material to it. The detergent, look how that just goes. The detergent allows that to just go right into the material. So you just want to, if you're not getting this kind of an effect with it when you are using a dropper, add more detergent till you get this effect. And trust me on that, that'll save you a ton of time, especially when you're doing ballast. What happens when you do ballast, and I'll show that when I start doing some ballast along here, not today, but on another day. When you start working on the ballast and you're putting glue along here to glue it down, it'll bead up and it'll roll right off and you'll just see the roadbed underneath. But if you have a good, where it just goes, it just penetrates just like that, boom, boom, boom. You have that, you will not have that issue and you'll not have anything beating up on you. Oh, well, thank you, Ron, for the jewels. That's great. I appreciate it. Anybody, I'll mention this real quick. Anybody that sends a jewels or any kind of a thing that we have going, everything goes right into the layout for more videos. All right, so you're just funding us, helping us fund this whole thing and allowing us to keep bringing the videos to you. We work on a pretty tight budget. Like, for example, this wood that I'm working on right here. We didn't have this for the longest time. About 2.5 weeks ago, we had some live streams, and we had some people that had donated. We didn't say anything to anybody about it, but they just started doing some little things. And what it did is it bought us all this wood that's right here. And we've put the thank yous up on there and listed who did it. So we do appreciate it, and it doesn't go into our pocket. It just goes straight into this, which will be projects for you guys to see. And more content and allow me to show you more stuff on how I get to the stage I do on these things. All right, so now we're just going to go in here. Sorry, I was just trying to keep track what I was having in my head there that I needed to do the next steps here. Yep, you can use rocks in the backyard. We've got we've got some really fantastic out in the front yard limestone that I plan on breaking up and using when I do the mountain down below. I'm probably even going to incorporate it along with the carvings that I do to get some real variances of colors. Okay, now what I do along here, I just put my finger up right there like that is a barrier, and I just put all that right there, and I just work my way down. Try to keep as much off the floor down below as possible. So I'm still going to get there, but this is what I've done all along the edges over here, and it's worked perfectly. Okay, now I can work my way in from that. All right, we've just about got this. We'll come back in, put the earth on it. And, well, I mean, I've still got a little bit of this to go, obviously, but we're getting really close now. Add some more of the earth back in. And then we'll do the coarse turf. And we'll put the bushes in. This is a fairly decent sized area right here. So it's just taking a little longer than normal. But if you want it, I just take my time because I want it all to look the same as I'm going along, whether it's a thin area or whether it's thick like this. That was a nice little clump that dropped right there. Had a nice variety of sizes. And again, I'm leaving some red areas coming through. Yep, it does work. The only problem with that I have, I've used different types of shakers. The only problem I have with that is where I have my edges right here and stuff, a lot of it will go on the floor. So it's just like pinching salt, just takes a little bit of time. There we go. I think that's pretty well. I'll get a little more right in here. Like I said, I'm not going to build this up too much right here because I've still got to paint this cliff wall that we worked on just a little bit ago. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and this should be pretty well set up. I'm going to go ahead and do the sand right here all the way through. So I'm just going to, that way I'm just kind of finished all the way to this point before I start doing the bushes. So same thing we've been doing is I try to keep glue off the sides especially when you're working inside two tracks. You want to try to keep the glue off the side of the roadbed. Just simply you don't want material glue into that if you can keep from it. If you do, you can always scrape it off before you start putting the ballast in. Hello, James. Glad you've joined us. And this time I'm going to get this little crack area down here a little bit fatter. Oh yeah. So get the sand. Oh, trust me. I just like last time, I will be coming across all of this and cleaning all the track off completely. And once this is dried, I'll throw the vacuum over it and I'll get rid of all the loose sand, everything. Because nothing will come up that isn't, the stuff that I want down will be down. And the stuff that needs to come up will come up pretty easily. So yes, oh yeah. Yeah, that's not going to be a good angle, so I'm just going to have to. Ah, from where? Oh, welcome from England. Ah, oh, well, you're never too old to start again. You know, and if you had it on the plywood before, you know how to do it. So that's a great way to start. And you don't have to have bench work and stuff. And it doesn't cost much. Like I have said a number of times here, right now we're only sitting this entire layout. We're only sitting at about $425 to $450 for everything. That's scenery, track, buildings, the PLA for the buildings, the uh, roadbed, all this material here, wiring, buying a cheap little controller to test with. The only thing that price did not include was just rolling stock and engines. So you can do one of these really reasonably now. It just depends on if you're willing to put a little effort into it and not buy all brand new. Because like I said, I don't buy new track. I buy used track at shows for 50 cents to $1 a section. And I take some time, takes me about 2-3 minutes for each one to completely, well, 5 minutes tops. And what I do is that's just sanding the top completely down with 600 grit sandpaper to get it back down to being just smooth and beautiful and shiny and clean. And then I take about 10-15 minutes per track to paint the ties. We showed how to do that. There's a technique I do that using more of a wet acrylic that does a really good job. And I'll show that again from time to time. I will be just doing refreshers on how to do it, or you can always go in and look at previous live streams that we've had. We have great videos up there with all kinds of, in our video section, with all kinds of builds and stuff. So it's worth investigating and seeing if there's something there that maybe you were thinking about building that might give you some ideas, or if you hadn't been thinking about it, it's like, oh, that might be neat on my layout or whatever. So we have 1,100 plus videos on our channel right now, and all of it is trained. So there's tons of stuff up there. We're starting to put our playlist together so that you can, if you're just wanting to look at, say, product reviews or car reviews, we've got all of that. But then we also have special builds. I've got a build up there where I did a really cool double flat car set with using a model kit for a B-25 bomber that I made. Basically, it's supposed to be like a plane sent off to a museum for restoration, museum or group for restoration. Came out great. I showed all the processes of that. We've got videos up there showing how I've done all the carving and everything. So if you don't want to wait until our next full carving video, you've got those up there. So it's worth going and checking them out. And if you like it, please do like I don't like pushing everything, but metrics have really changed at the beginning of the year. So we're trying to get a handle on how to keep us up there for people to be able to see. And a lot of that comes from comments like you guys are leaving and likes and subscribes. So if you guys like what you do, I would ask that you would just, take a little time, watch our old videos, like and subscribe. And it'll help us keep getting to more people, and which in turn will just keeps us going. So, but I am very, very appreciative of everybody that's been with us these past live streams. They've been really amazing.
So where's the ask employee traits in the world? If you need to actually be somewhere to see the details of the scenery, if you're trying to replicate the location, you can look at the game and walk around.
Oh no, we used to have a train simulator game.
Never really got into it. This was a long time ago before computers were where they are today. The only real train thing I ever played was a game called A Train. It was pretty fun. You just I don't know how you would describe it. But you go out and you build your tracks and you try to find industries and put them in. Really cool game. They've actually, I think, they re-released it. So if you ever want to play a fun one, that's a fun one to play. But as far as like train simulator stuff, mostly what I do is I'll just do research. If I've got a certain thing I want it to look like, I'll go just go online and Google the location or whatever, and I'll just look at a bunch of images, which is a little easier because it's I can take screenshots, and which I mean I know you can with the other, but uh, it just it works out pretty good for me that way.
Got a couple things here.
Sure.
All right. It first says I'm a fellow railway modeler working at scale.
Uh-huh.
Junior sharing. That looks like what second scale?
This right here is in scale. So, and I'm glad you're getting some good tips and things off of it. So if you are working in scale, what you're seeing me do will just work perfectly for yours. If you're an HO, just scale things up. Like when I was showing how to paint the track, you just use a larger brush versus what I was doing for in scale. You just have to be aware. And see, I went down. I went from HO down to in scale, so I had to downsize everything. Everything I did had to be downsized. So you just have to adjust. I've got to where I really enjoy in scale. What I've enjoyed about it mostly has been the freedom with the 3D printer to do anything we want to do. And I'll show you guys that here in a second. We're going to take a break here, and I'll just do. I'm going to blow these tracks off right here and clear them off, and then we're going to do a quick test through here to make sure that all the base material that I put down, nothing is on the tracks, and I haven't gotten any glue on there before we start putting the bushes down. So we're going to do a quick run set. I'll hit all three tracks. Since I went between all three tracks, we're just going to make sure that I'm just seeing if I feel any sand or anything on here. And I'm not. Yeah.
Why says why not bad because I think your own pieces that was always my favorite. I guess it's also good. Chris asked, would you consider investing in a 3D printer or do you consider that cheating as part of modeling?
Okay. So we had a couple questions, kind of basically into the same question, basically, as far as custom stuff goes and how we're achieving it. We do a lot of 3D printing. And I don't consider it cheating because really, it's hard to find when you're. I'll show you here in just a sec. Because I'm going to spin the camera and I'll show you what we're doing here. If you haven't been with us, to achieve what we're wanting to achieve with this layout, there'd be no way to do it without 3D printing. Well, I mean, you could, but it would cost you a fortune. I did some cost analysis on how much it would be to do the big towers we're doing. And the cheapest I could come across was $1,000, between $800 to $1,000 to buy either kit form or to kit bash. And I'll show you what we did for $12. Let me just get a little bit of water there. Okay, so we're going to do let me get everything out of the way. We're going to do a quick testing here. You talk to him for just a minute. I'm going to go wash the sand off my fingers because I'm going to have to touch the engines and cars. So I just want to get my hands clean real quick.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it really does save a lot. It's amazing how much that it's done for us so far. And so many buildings we've printed, put together. Here. Through Time says, nice, I love N scale, my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite too.
Okay.
Unbeard says, I love Z and G, but I collect some N scale as well.
Oh, yeah, I like Z too. We've started printing some Z scale stuff. So we were actually going to do a Z-scale track in the back for force perspective, which we still may do, but I'm not sure yet. Okay.
Through time says looks good so far. Have a great.
Oh, thank you. You can see here, now this is what we were working on before. So you can see I left a little bit of space here so I can paint all this, do all the weathering, and then I'll come in and I'll fill in all this. All right. So this is all, everything you see here is going to be a huge city. If we did not have the ability to 3D print, there's no way I could afford to do this. This is all going to be towers. We're going to have anywhere between 25 and 30 monstrous skyscrapers. And you're going to see one here in just a second. Starting next week, we are going to have a foundation right here where another tower is going to be starting to go up. We're going to have a double tower that's connected by the base. It's going to go right there. So here is one of our tallest towers right here. This is 30, I believe it's 33 inches from bottom to top. And we have this right here. This was 3D printed. This is the station. That's going to go right here next to it. We also have the second big tower right here. It's in the middle of being printed as well. This is actually going to be covered by something similar to this over this whole area. It'll go underneath. This is going to move out to here along with the station over it with stairs that are going to go down to the loading platforms down here for the passenger stuff. This is all going to, you can see we started to fill things in, small things in here, but this is going to be just littered with tall towers. Shelf will be gone. This is coming around. You can see our elevated track. This was all the legs and all this this was all 3D printed, and I made this out of styrene right here. So it's just, that's been a combination that'll be going around through the whole thing. So you can see here what we were talking about as far as the roadbed goes. I was talking about how you wanted to kind of keep your edges clean right here in the middle so that this really stands out. You get a nice dividing area there between the tracks. I don't like it personally. I don't like having the tracks, having the roadbed span the whole area. It just looks like one big mass of ballast right there, and I like seeing the green coming through. So we will be doing a ballast session here fairly soon within the next couple of next couple of live streams. It's not the funnest thing to watch, but at least I can show you how I get the effects I do with the ballasting that I do. Somebody asked if we were modeling any particular city. No. We're actually using real buildings from cities around the world, and then we're just going to be putting them in here. We're modifying them to fit our space vertically. A lot of them are shorter, but we're making them taller. So we are, it's just going to be, so you'll probably recognize certain structures. But as far as a particular city, no, I don't even know where this building is from. The guy that made the files for it, he said what the name of it was. I have yet to Google it and find out where it was, and actually it was only supposed to be about this tall, and we almost double the height of it. So we do a lot of custom stuff to what we're doing. So now what I got to do is I want to come along here, and I want to check all of this right here, make sure all of my engines will run through here after putting all this material down. And I want to look from this side. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with. So what we're going to do. Oh, well, thank you. I really took a lot of time on the rock wall. Well, actually, I guess really not. We made a good video of it. To do the rock wall from here all the way here, carved it into the foam and painted it, was about 8 hours of work. So it didn't take a whole lot to do. All right, so you know what? I'm going to take the cars off because I don't want to take a chance of them keep uncoupling like they've been doing. I'm just going to have to deal with some coupler work and stuff. It's mostly just I have to get better rear couplers for the Katos. There's been lots of posts about that on the web about how the couplers just have a hard time with cars. So I'm going to get MTLs and I'll get them replaced because these are all MTLs here. So I'm just going to make sure everything matches. All right, so let's get this powered on. Which one am I running? Ah, this one, okay. So we'll go test this one first back through that new scenery area. Make sure I have nothing on the tracks. So you can see what this is going to look like coming through the buildings like that and coming underneath those buildings. That's going to look pretty sharp. We have so much to print and do at this stage, but My goal is 6 to 8 months from now, have this entire upper level finished and a lot of the lower level done. I want it within a year's time. I want to be working on the layout up in the attic. All right, here we go. We're going to come into this area right here. I'm going to see if I hear anything or see anything, but I already checked the track. Nope, nope. I don't hear anything or see anything. I didn't feel any liquid on anything. I didn't feel anything on there, so I think we're okay. This is one of like 3 overpasses we're going to have along here that the trains will be coming under. Another Hobbytown road trip. Yes, it will be. I'll be going down there to get the couplers and trucks. I've got to replace a bunch of couplers and trucks up here, and then I'll get a couple of extra just couplers for the rear of this. So we'll probably drag you guys along on that venture when we do that in the next week or so. We'll do a live from down there again. We'll see if they brought anything new in from the beginning of the year. I'm just going to go over a second time here, and then we'll power up the next track. We'll test all 3. This is where I went in between each of the tracks with stuff. Yeah. It's doing fine. I am going to put another set of leads, power leads right here. Right now I only have 1 lead per track. So we're going to make sure we get it. Okay, so let's ease this one down. All right, give me a second and I will. Yeah, I mean, we're falling off the edge, but by the time I get done with everything, it'll be so smooth and operational. It'd have to be something very drastic for it to have, like me just like slamming into the bench work for something to jostle off. So I thought about that a lot, but I as long as I'm not crazy with things, I don't think I have too much of a problem with it. All right, we're gonna do. Let's see, which track is this? This is the middle track. So we'll do the middle track. I'm just changing the leads right now for the power pack for the track itself. I'm going to get a plug and play system here until I get the DCC. Where I can just plug the power leads in really quickly for change outs. All right, so let's do this guy. He should be the middle one. Yeah, so he was asking about the Digitrax Chief that we're about to get for this system. I just like Digitrax, and that system seems to have a lot of the main components I need to have, and it's expandable pretty easily. So I think that's what we're going to go with on this. The hobby shop that we have has them at 50% off right now. At least we saw a couple that way. So if you're really thinking about it, it might be a good option. All right, here we go. Going through here. Nope, we're all right. Came right through, no problems. We'll just let this run around a couple of times, make sure that our new scenery areas haven't interfered with the track. And again, if you haven't been with us, this is all staging. All of these tracks here are basically staging for us. I'll show you here when we come around to it. Again, I'm just watching the operation on it, making sure everything's good, and then I'll let it go and I'll tell you about it. All right, I want to see how this is right where we've been working. Yeah, we're good. All right, starting about right here, all the way to here are going to be all my switches. There's going to be a ton of switches in here that are going to allow me to get things moved together and to head over to our helix, which will get us up to our elevated track line that's going to be a little bit taller, and the pink line, and down to our lower shelf, which is down here. So this is where it looks like it's just 3 racetrack type things. Oops, I got a derailment. Wonder where that happened. This middle track was my best track. Oh, perfect, yeah. Yep, we will definitely be opening up to the public, allowing for visits and coming and do run sessions. All right, I did hear something. It was over here. So I'm going to listen again as it goes by and see if I hear anything. Oh, okay. Hang on just a second, and then I'll answer some more questions. I just want to try to hear where I might be having an issue, but I'm looking good there. That was a little bit of a no? I wonder if I took trains off. I took cars off the back, and I'm just wondering if when I did that, if I accidentally bumped it and derailed it. Because it's doing fine now. Yeah, it's doing fine. Okay, so what was that comment again? Uh-huh. Oh, very good. Well, now time to start collecting rolling stock. You never have enough rolling stock. Oh, okay. Oh, City of New Orleans. That'll be cool. Great. Okay, let's stop this one. All right. So now we'll do the inside track. Not going to be, there wasn't a whole lot that was done on the inside track at this point. We will be here shortly, but so now that I said that, it'll probably be the one that has an issue. Hello, welcome. Just changing the power leads, and then we're going to throw the Spirit out on here and let it do its thing. Make sure none of my landscaping has caused an issue. I had cars hooked up to this. I probably should have checked. Well, if it's going to come off, it's going to come off. Probably should have checked to make sure when I took cars off that I didn't mess with the trucks. All right, so we're going to check this corner right down here. This is the possible potential issue. Yeah, I seem to be doing okay. And this is a corner I really had to work with. I actually had to cut a bunch here, and I had to add more road bed here, and I had to flatten this curve. And I have to do the same thing over here because I was stupid, and I put my joint right here. So I'm going to take this entire track out from about right here to about right here and redo it. Because I know I'm going to have problems over the years with that joint shifting on me. So I might as well just, before I start getting crazy with all the scenery around this rail fan area that I'm going to make right here, might as well just get it done. All right, looks like it's doing okay. So see right here, it's going to be passing under the building starting about right here. And that'll all be underneath and all lit up with lights, and it'll come out about right here. And then the station will be above, and big towers. So. And by putting power leads right here, I'll be able to get more of a smooth operation. So I'll be doing that this week. Yeah, you can hear right there. You heard that. That was that issue right there on that joint. Hello. All right, we're going to back this up. And then we're going to get back to the scenery. We do have a, what are they called, Gabe, for this building? For the fundraiser thingy? Well, no, what's the name of the thing that they can do?
Oh, the gifts.
Okay. So any gifts today that come in, we'll have a thing here. We're actually I'm going to expand this tower up, and there's going to be 3 possibilities of what this is going to be. I think your choices will be between a corporate headquarters for like one of the major railroads, there's a hotel, and there's an apartment. So there's some descriptions about that in the thing about it, but we have that rolling right now. Okay, so back to this. Now I'm going to have to be careful. I got to remember where I put the camera so that I don't place it on any of the wet material that I've got here. And try to get this back in the same place it was before so you can see everything easily without my hand being in the way. That's not too bad. Let me, oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm mostly going to work in this area right here. We're going to be putting more earth down, and we're going to be putting the bushes down. And probably some earth in the middle of the tracks too. All right. I do hope you get a big boy eventually. Yes. I've drawn it, I don't know, 8 times. So I've done a lot of artwork for it. It is one of my favorite engines, so I'm hoping to do it. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to come back in with the earth material, and we're going to start putting it in here and getting our little dark kind of wavy areas coming back in and putting some up a little closer to the track right here. And then we'll get the course turf. Where's it going to go get the course turf while I'm thinking about it?
James says you did a good job on those buildings. I've never seen skyscrapers on the same layout.
Oh, well, thank you. Somebody says, never seen the skyscrapers on the layout. I've seen a couple, but by the time we get done, in all honesty, I don't think there'll be many layouts out there that'll have as many as we've got on this one. Because we have room here to put, let me think, we have room to put, we've got room to at least do 25 to 30 skyscrapers along this U shape right here. So, and that's what we're gonna do. If we can fit them, we're gonna fit them. And not just skyscrapers that tall, we'll also have a lot of those medium size that you saw. The tan building, we're gonna have a ton of those. It's just gonna be one large city all the way through here. Okay, so we're gonna be using some of this too. This is coarse turf. We're gonna be using this to put the bushes in. All right, so let's get I'm gonna get everything set back up over here. All my glues. I think the sand is pretty good. I don't think I need to add much more sand to it, if any. Okay, so I'm not going to, so now we're gonna put some more of this on. It's gonna be going back down in the middle right here. So I've got to get a brush. So I'll get a brush.
Timer on our goal ended.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Should I start another one?
If you want. Okay. So got the earth. All right. So again, I'm going to put the stuff in the cap like I did before. So we're just going to put something like that. Not much, because this is just adding a little extra. So we're just going to... Oh.
Spray glue first.
Spray glue? No, I just use... I do use glue. There's a lot of glue down already. But I use Elmer's glue with an eyedropper. Well, it's a thinned Elmer's glue mix with an eyedropper. We're just going to come in here and we're just going to build up a couple of these little areas that I got covered with the sand too much. Going to bring a few areas right out over here. And it's still damp enough. This will still absorb the glue from below. So if it doesn't, second coat of glue will solve the problem. And when we start putting the bushes down, there's going to be a lot of glue flowing here anyway. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking the contrast again. Getting the darker area here in the middle with the lighter areas to the sides. And then see what... Oh, well, good. I'm glad I brought back some good memories. Well, you can put this with your war games. I know people use this when they're doing the Warhammer stuff. They make big, huge areas like this. Okay. I think there's such a wide area right here. I think I'm going to make a little more dark right here. There we go. All right, so what I haven't used is going to go back in the bottle. Okay, so now, do what now? Somebody asked if I put ballast in the salt shaker. No, I do every bit of it by hand because then I can sculpt it exactly the way I want to do it. The same techniques I'm using here is what I do with the ballast. We've actually got some videos, we've got some videos that show how I did that area over there. But I will be doing some videos here pretty soon showing how to do probably this area right here. I start in the middle and work my way out to the sides. So I'll pinch it and put it all the way down in there, glue it, and then that glue flows out on either side to give you an area to where when you pinch it and put it down here, it'll already start to adhere. And I use a couple of brushes, different varieties of thicknesses, just to make sure everything gets tapped down and done correctly. And that's how I did those corners over there. Takes some extra time to do, but it gives me my center line that I like, and it gives me the contouring that I want to have to where it doesn't just flatten everything. Speaking of which, I forgot to put.
Robert asks what kind of glue do you use?
I use Elmer's glue. It's a mix. It's about 1/5. This right here is about 1/5 glue, 4/5 water, and then I don't count it in the measurements, but then about 2 to 3 good squirts of Ajax detergent. And I'll show you why we do that. I showed it a little bit ago, but you're going to really get to see it here in a minute why you do it, because it just helps to get the glue to penetrate down through the different surfaces and mediums, and without beating up and making everything turn into a little scenery ball, which you don't want. Because then it rolls down and goes everywhere. What?
James asks, have you ever seen that car that has a camera on the front of it, so it's like you can ride on your own way out?
Yes, we do plan on getting a camera for the front of the trains, especially when we have the where we're going between levels and you can take a ride on the helix down to the lower level. So we will be getting one of those, probably mounting it to a flat car. So we will be doing that once we have more of an operational to where we get to different levels. Right now, you just be going around in a circle. So I don't think that'd be very fun.
James says that's really interesting about the Ajax.
Yes, that was a tip I learned a long, long time ago. In fact, I ran out and my wife picked up another bottle for me. Because with as much material as I've got to do, here, I'll show you what it does. Okay. Because I've got to do this anyway. Where's my paper towel? Here it is. Okay, so what I've done is I've got the glue in the dropper. Now watch what it does on the surface. Watch, just watch right in this area and watch what the glue does. Look at that. See that? If you didn't have the Ajax in that, that would be a bead. You'd have a bead on top. It would turn into a little tiny ball and it would draw in all the scenery around it. As it is, it just penetrates right through all of it. You have to do this when you're doing roadbed. Because like I explained a little bit ago, what'll happen is when you're putting this here and you've got the roadbed on top and you put your glue on, it'll beat up in a little ball and it'll roll right down and it'll be back down to bare roadbed right there. But if you do this, it just goes right in. You see, I'm not getting any beating. It's just penetrating and it's doing exactly what it needs to do. So that's what the Ajax is for. I'm just going to go ahead
Close to the LA County Fair, they have a spectacular miniature railroad.
near the LA County Fair. Oh, that'd be pretty cool to see. We've been to San Diego. We saw that big one that's down in San Diego. Can't think of the name of it. In Balboa Park. We went to that one year. That was quite impressive. But you can see what it does. This is why you have to have that in there. I wish I had one mixed up without it in it, and I'd show you the difference with how it just beads on the surface. Okay, so now we're going to put the coarse turf in. Got my toothpick here, so I'm ready to go for that. So same thing like I've been doing, I'm just going to pour some into the cap. This is just happenstance. Wherever it falls, it falls.
William says Las Vegas, Nevada watching.
Oh, welcome from Las Vegas. And we're just, wherever it goes, it goes. I might move some around with the toothpick, but I don't really care. I just want some randomness to it.
All five says hello from Washington.
All over Washington. Glad you joined us. All right, so I talked about this on the last one, but in case you weren't here, I'll tell you what we're going to do with all the this coarser stuff. Okay, so it's all kind of cruddy looking right now because it's tall, gangly, just doesn't look right. So I'll come in here and the glue is going to settle a lot of that down and make just the little mounds out of it. So what, uh, oh, that's pretty good. What I'm going to do is, when this dries, after the glue is done, when it dries, I'll leave a little bit of that in the cap in case I want to fill in some more here and there. Uh, I'll get a nice paint color, light yellow green paint color. And you'll see here once we put the glue in, this is all going to kind of settle down. You're not going to have all this stuff sticking up. I use a toothpick and I just kind of work this out. I try to get it down a little bit to begin with. Some areas I want a little bit of a bigger clump, I'll leave it. I'll just get stuff to where the glue will do what it has to do. So then I get my yellow green paint and I'm going to come along with a very fine brush and I'm going to paint the tips of all the little bushes. And that will simulate light reflecting off the leaves. And I've done that before and it looks fantastic. It gives you a variety of color. I know they make, I don't want to just use like yellow that they make for fall colors and stuff because I want to have an actual more green to it. So I will mix up a color that will simulate um, light reflection on a green surface.
Dark areas and shadows.
Yep, exactly.
James says I used to use the airbrush for all that greenery you're putting down.
Oh, yeah, airbrush could do it. All right. So that is what I'll be doing. So all my little everything, I'll be coming back in here and just doing dab, 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 dab. I'll get my color I like, and I'll just start giving the great highlights with it. And the other thing I'm going to do is along the roadbed, and I'll show you when I do this. So I'm going to stop breathing on that. When the roadbed comes over, where it reaches the ground, where it meets the ground down here, I'm going to take gray paint and darken it up, make it a dark gray, and I'll come along the edge where it meets the ground and I'll put a shadow line on all of my roadbed going all the way around. It's what I did with my artwork and my drawings. And it makes the roadbed and everything just stand out beautifully. So, but I'll show how to do that. I've done that before too, and it looks really good. And I'll show how that'll be here.
Joshua says hello.
Hello, Joshua.
Jay says add a little hobo tent.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a hobo section, and I'll show you where that's going to be. Right here. I'm showing you. This is why you put detergent in. Look how it's just getting right into that material, locking it right down.
Yellow Bus says my buddy says at work was showing me his HO scale setup. I can't believe how intricate and costly this is.
It's intricate, but you can do it affordably. Like I said earlier today, and I've said in the others because people have asked, this entire layout, everything including the PLA, the filament that I've used in the 3D printer for all the buildings we've printed so far, including that huge skyscraper, all my track, all my roadbed, all the materials you see here, I only have between $400 and $450 into this double deck layout so far. That's bench work, everything, screws, plates, the whole works. So you can do it. You don't have to spend a fortune if you don't want to. And I'm buying stuff from stores. I mean, I either stores or train shows.
James says start with the train set and a piece of plywood. The rest will follow if you're interested.
Exactly. Train set's always a good way to start. If you're not sure how to do this, you'll find out real quick if you like it, and go from there.
Mary Kay asks how do you get into something like this? This is much more than a piece of wood and a train set.
It is a little more than a piece of wood and train set. Actually, what I'm working on here, the surface that I'm working on right here, the wood underneath. You think, wow, a lot of money in wood. No, you don't have to. This right here are shelves that I got from Menards. You can find them at any of them, Lowe's, Home Depot, all those, that are damaged. They usually have them in a bin, and I paid 99 cents to $2 for each one of these shelves that goes around here. And I use 2x2s for the legs because this is just in scale and it's not that heavy. Even 2x4s are cheap. My 2x2s that I bought, I can get 2 legs out of each one and they run me $3. So you can do bench work and everything cheap. Just go looking for it. A lot of people never really thought about using those what it is, these shelves are when they get in, well, they have the nicer racks of shelves, and when they open up the boxes, there's inevitably going to be some that are damaged, and that's what these are. And usually it's not much. Like right over here underneath, there's this little tiny piece missing out of one edge. I backfilled it with the scenery material and paper towels, and you can't even tell. So, and then since I'm putting fascia along the front, so let's say even if it has a big chunk out of it right in this way, so a big chunk right here going. When I put the fascia up, I would just backfill it with material. So you would never know. And the fascia will cover the front part. So that is my recommendation, is just go look for good sales and think outside the box as far as what you can use. These shelves are generally between 12 and 18 inches thick. In my wider areas, I have 2 side by side that I took some 2x4s, not 2x4s, but 2x2s, and made stringers that went across and attached them with that and then ran my leg down. So even when I have wider areas, I still use just 2 of the shelves. The most expensive thing that has been the foam, as far as this going up. This do what? Okay. Somebody asked what the slide stream is about. We're working on a model train layout right now. I'm putting landscape material down. This is all in scale track, and we're building a huge city back that way. Okay? It's a long time doing scale, a lot longer than me. You wouldn't, not watering, it looks like I'm watering the grass, but no, what I'm doing is actually gluing down all of these tufts of bushes that are here. Let's see here, is that, yeah. I'm getting ready to shift positions anyway and turn around and work on the backside. Here, I'll show you. Hello, this is a continuation of this. This is not coming off. This has been glued down the same way as this has been. Let me hear, watch. Well, I'm blowing on that back area. There's virtually nothing coming up. What's coming up is the stuff that when my shelves down, I've got to get stuff like this off. I had a bunch of stuff fall down from above, and I'll just come in here and I'll vacuum it up. None of this is going to come up. So what I'm doing is just gluing all of this down the same way. So you can see right there how we've created the darker areas, the lighter areas. This will all lighten to match this once we get to that point by tomorrow. So there, let me get back. So there you can kind of see, get out of the glare of the light. You can see how that's come in. Next video, next live stream, I'll paint this, and then we will, to match all of this right here, and then we will butt this up. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with this right now, because my elevated track from the other side, this right here, my elevated track right here is going to be coming across right through here, and I know it's going to come in right over here somewhere, so this may be a concrete abutment eventually, but for right now I just want to get it to where it looks better. So if you're wondering, if you've just joined us, this is what we're building, is this huge city right here. There'll be about 25 to 30 skyscrapers. We have 2 right now being printed that are in production in the other room. Double towers are going to go up right here, and we have a really tall one that's going to go up to about this height right here. So that's what we're doing. So that's I've got that in. So this end is pretty well done. I'll come in and I'll neaten things up a little bit more. Probably like maybe I may get some of these guys right here that I'm not using. I'll cut them down to single ties, and I may put like a row of single ties just laying on the ground like here, like, you know, the debris you see in videos like virtual rail and stuff where they're working on track after I get all the road, the ballast in and stuff, and I'll do like maybe a line of those, like their ties, they've been replaced. So what does it say? What do you do with the scenes when you're finished? Well, we'll be running the trains through here. So it's just turning this into a large train layout is what we're doing. Oh, sorry, hobo area. No, hobo area is going to go right here. So what we're doing here, let me get the sand out. That's my big thing of sand. What we're going to do here is this, comes across here. The concept here was, and then the elevated track's going to come across the top right here. Concept is the two main lines, was only two main lines originally, come in here and they're going to be ended right here. We'll have the just the dead ends to them right here. This is all going to be underneath some city stuff, but you'll have like a tunnel where you can see through, and we're going to make the hobo encampment like right here. And we'll have some burned out cars and things, and just junk, piles of junk and everything all through here, to where this went off to wherever this went off to, but it's no longer the way it works. So that's what we're going to do with that. So that's going to be a whole encampment right there for that. So that's where we're at. So now you can see how that looks down there with that scenery.
James says I can see what's going on, the potential of everything is going to look really good when you're done.
Well, thank you, James.
For some reason, skyscrapers are made out of cardboard.
Oh, no, yes, the skyscrapers, that's all PLA filament plastic. So, yeah, everything we're doing is being printed on a 3D printer for stability and all that. This right here, to give you an example of cost, this cost me $12. That was all that was in filament. So, and about 2.5 days of printing. So, if you do the math on that, 25 of them, 25, 30 skyscrapers around here, we're only looking at between $200 and $300 to have this entire thing completely lined with skyscrapers. So, and roughly about 3 or 4 months of printing, but we'll be picking up a second printer that will handle doing all of that. It'll help us cut the time down anyway. This shelf will be gone right here. We're getting rid of that so we can have big skyscrapers going all the way up. I'll get all this cleaned up here so it'll look nice. So when you're viewing it, we're going to paint the walls. We're going to have a backdrop, and then we'll paint the walls the blue for sky up here, all the way around. The windows will get covered with masonite like you do for the fascia, and I'll have background all over here on these. This shelf will be gone. That shelf will be gone. So, and then like I said, the helix will be right here. That'll get us to the upper levels and the lower levels. And then back here in the corner is going to be a big mountain. Somebody was asking about watching us do the mountain, so that's where I'm going to be carving. The mountain is back here. Some industries along here. And then over here is going to be a big station tucked up underneath here and some yards, so that with a loop around, like a dog bone type thing, that'll bring us back over here to the helix. So that's what we have in the works. All right, so I really should come over here to this other end. There's so much to be done over here on this other end. There's a lot. I probably should set the camera up. Hello, everybody. It is fun to work with. I enjoy working on this, and we test out a lot of stuff and try new things, and it's just a whole lot of fun to do. So how's... Oh yes, it would take a lot longer. Printing is the way to go. You can build all of this. There's manufacturers up there, companies up there that do skyscrapers, but I've priced them out. And for just that skyscraper right there alone, to get it that high would have run us between $800 and $1,000 for the kits that they had to build just that one. So if you multiply that by 20 to 30 skyscrapers, you can see how that just would have been a non-starter. I mean, because that would have taken us $20,000, $30,000 just to build skyscrapers. Whereas this is going to be $12 a piece, 20 to 30 of those. That means we're going to be spending anywhere between $200 and $300 for skyscrapers versus $20,000 to $30,000. So yes, I recommend a 3D printer. If you don't have one, you can get them pretty good price now. About I've seen them as low as the type we have. I've seen as low as $300 now, $325. So if you do the math on that, one building over there, one of our buildings over there pays for the printer 3 times over. If I was to build that single building going through either kit bashing or getting those other companies that make big custom buildings, getting one of theirs. So yeah, that walls and clouds painted. Yes, we saw that. Isn't that? Didn't we see the picture of that?
Yep.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
And Austin asked, what's the 3D design software
Uh,
that we use? Bamboo Studio.
it's Bamboo Studio. It's what came with the printer itself is the software we use. I tell my son what I want. Like for example, I say I want like these style of windows here, or I want those style of windows there, kind of an opening, or whatever, and he makes it work. He just puts it into the software and he does it. A lot of it comes from the STL prints that we get. We get a lot of stuff off of Thingiverse that are free, and then we adapt them to what we want to do. And he just puts that into the software. He cuts and he takes everything apart. And he's, for example, this right here was built in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections. And the original print only was supposed to be this tall. So we custom did a lot of that ourselves. So,
Hi, how are you?
hey Josh, doing good. Hope you're doing well too.
James says you could start to build a real railroad for what it costs you.
Actually, this, like I said, this has only run us between $400 and $500 for everything you see so far. Everything, bench work, buildings, track, all of it. We haven't spent much at all on this. So it just depends on how you go about looking for what you're going to use. So that's all there is. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I want to take apart. I'm kind of tired of working on scenery right now, so I may wait on this. We may do this another day. I'm just going to let this sit right here and dry up to match the other that we worked on today. So I think what I'm going to do is, you see this right here, this little red thing right here? This is going to become part of the superstructure that the station and this big building is going to sit on. So I'm thinking I may tear that apart here. And I'll show you I'm going to do that, because this PLA glue that I use, it's strong. It is really strong. You're talking to yourself as a sign of genius. I read that, actually. That's pretty funny that you mentioned that. I actually read that in a article that just was brought out just this last week, the 5 signs that you're a genius, and that was one of them, is talking to yourself. I just have done it my entire life. So what I want to do here, I'll show you guys. I'm going to get this. Do what? Oh, okay. Let's go here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. This is all just crud. Okay, so here is. This was supposed to go over here. I talked about that in the last one. This right here is going to go right there. Not this particular piece, but this look. All these I-beams. We made all these I-beams on the printer. And what I need to do here is I want to salvage this piece right here, and I want to salvage that piece back there. These things are on here extremely well. I'm going to have to use probably pliers to pop those off. I'm going to try to do that, and I want to try to break this apart right here and see what this looks like sitting here without all the rest of the stuff on it. Then I want to do the same thing on this back one. Where'd it go? Here it is. This right here came off when it dropped. When it broke a long time ago, back in this corner. So I just need to glue that back on. But then I'm going to get my heat gun that I have, and I want to curve this so that it is contoured to this back wall right here. And then I'm going to have to make another one of these that's going to kind of be like right on the inside of this track right here. And then all of the I-beams will span across, where every one of these I-beams will be a custom made one. We can only do I-beams up to 10 inches in length. So I'm going to have to do a multiple. That's why I'm going to have to probably put a second right here, because this right here, this is not going to make this. This is more than 10 inches. Down here, probably no problem. But this is well over a foot. So I'm going to have on this curve right here, I'm going to have a set of maybe I'll make this one right here. I'll set this up as the first part, and then I'll do a wall back here. So I'm still not exactly sure how I'm going to make this work. And then I'll take I-beams from here and I'll go across from this one that's on the inside. So maybe what I need to do is just take these apart, and then I'll hold this one up since it'll be flexible then, and I'll see how it looks right here. Let's do that real quick. So let me get this station out of the way. Again, I'm procrastinating on the station because I know I'm going to have to do a lot of custom stuff on it. And I don't want to do it today. So I'm probably not going to wind up doing it today. We're probably going to work on this, see how this looks in that space. So let me put this up right here, and I'll take a look, trying not to be on the wet areas, and get it set up right here. Let me go around, I'll take a look and see if that's going to work. So you can see what I'm going to have to do to take this apart. Not too bad. I'll get this adjusted a little bit. There we go. I'm sitting up on the roadbed, so I'm not on the material I just did. Okay, so let's take that apart. This is again just reusing stuff that was supposed to be for something else. So I'll show you how strong this PLA glue is. Well, in addition to, I mean, it's been painted. So we also have the seal around all the edges of paint. I'm not worried about these I-beams right here. These aren't going to work anyway. So we'll be doing full-blown custom I-beams once we get these off. I'll try to salvage them as much as I can because we might be able to use them for something else. I don't know. But I was trying to pull these off the other day just by hand. I don't think. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to come in and sand everything. It actually, there shows you how strong this glue is. It actually broke the plastic before it broke the seam where it was glued together. So I'm sure I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to come in here and I'm going to have to scrape and file all of this. But for right now, if we can just get this so I can get a sense of what this is going to look like, that would be great. Yeah, it is. And this PLA glue is incredible. It is. I learned some valuable lessons on this is the stuff I use. This is the stuff you use for 3D printing PLA filament. Well, there's like 3 brands, but this one is just unbelievable. But I wound up, let's see, where's my hair? First bottle was a bad learning experience. I didn't clean off as much as I needed to. You need to have the tip completely dry. As you can see, it got to the point where I was having to use a set of pliers to pull this off. And I had holes in it because when this pulled off, it pulled holes in. That's why there's tape. I mean, I got the whole bottle. I was able to use the whole bottle, but that was definitely a learning experience. So, I mean, you can just see right here, I'm going to have to do a lot of scraping. I am going to go ahead and glue this one piece back on right here. I'm not going to be able to salvage any of these I-beams at all. They're all just ripping. You can see right here, they're all just ripping off on that. But that's all right. I mean, I probably have all of like $1 or $2 in filament on these I-beams. So that's the other thing about a 3D printer. You know, unlike having a whole package of I-beams, that if you decided to change something, I mean, this would have cost me probably, I'm going to have to patch that, $70, $80 in I-beams if I was to buy enough for what I did this whole thing with. Somebody asked if I've ever had my fingers stuck together. Close, but no. I've glued things wrong together and had to go back, but not myself. I mean, I'll get a coating on, like on the outside of the finger here,
I'll get a coating of glue on here when I'm working and doing stuff, and that'll take forever to come off. But actual gluing my fingers together, no.
Jake asked, what is it, a factory of some kind?
This is actually going to be the support that we're going to have over our tracks for the station and a huge tower that we have back behind us. I'll be taking the camera back over there after I get this stuff kind of cleaned up, because I'm going to start working on it and seeing what I can do with it.
So, age collection and explosive gamer asked what you're making.
What I'm making right now is a foundation for for the station to sit over these tracks, our 3 main lines. This was an old design, and I'm trying to see if I can reuse it, if I can salvage this enough where I can reuse it. I can already tell right now I'm going to have some problems in salvaging it. This one, which is the main one, looks like it's pretty good. I'm probably just going to have to come in here with an X-Acto blade, but that's not bad, being able just to stand up on its own like that. Come in here with an X-Acto blade and cut all this off and get it smooth. This one though, when the piece came off, this broke right here, and it lifted up the top of the I-beam, the rail area. So I am not sure. We're probably just going to have to reprint this one. So I think, yeah.
Crochet lady asked, can you reuse or do you throw it in the recycle on the PLA?
Somebody asked if you can reuse this stuff. There's not. Well, there is. There's new technology coming out all the time. I actually saw a Kickstarter for it, where you can actually 3D print your own recycle system. And what it is you can buy the PLA in beads, in bead form, and you can do about a 60-40 recycle. So that means this machine, you pour the beads in, 60% beads in, you crush up all of this stuff, you put it all together. It can't be painted, obviously. This you have to use like the prints that went bad on you. And you crush that up and you put it in, and it puts it all together, and it creates the long line of filament. So there are things coming to where you can recycle, which is good. We've got a bag full of stuff. We probably have at least between 2 and 3 rolls of filament that are just scrap. So I'm hoping that that was one of them. You had to print, but you had to print yourself. You had to print your own filament recycler. So I'm hoping to just find one online to where we can have it as like all metal. I'd rather have it be all metal versus plastic. And you still have to go out and farm some parts out from other places to make it. So once something comes up that is fairly inexpensive, we'll get it, because we'll convert all of our old plastic that we have that's scrap back into filament.
Couple things here.
Yep.
Explosive says, nice, are you building a city?
Yes, we are building a city, and I'm about to show you because I'm about to pick this up and go put it in place. It's a,
Next guy asks, how much time do you spend building a week on average?
somebody asked, how much time do I spend on each week on average? I spend all week on trains of some sort. Between selling my artwork, the prints that I've done, all the artwork I've done over the years, or doing custom orders for people, doing the graffiti cars that I've done, or doing custom engines or custom cars, to working on the layout. I probably spend between 50 and 60 hours a week working on train stuff. So it's always in here. I'm always at this right here at this table or up here working on something. So it's a full time.
Josh asks, did you and your son have a good Christmas and New Year's Day?
Oh, Josh asked, we had a good Christmas and New Year's Day. Yes, we did. I hope you did too. We had a friend and my mom over for Christmas, and then New Year's Day we just kind of hung out. We didn't do a whole lot, but we had some good food, and we just watched some great stuff. We've been trying to go through the Harry Potter movies again. Every couple of years we try to do it at the holidays, and so we're up to number 5,
I think now. We're up to number 5. We started that just a little before Christmas, so that's what we've been doing. My wife's a teacher, so she's had the 2 weeks off. She goes back on Monday. So we've just been doing a whole bunch of stuff over the past couple of weeks, in addition to just keep working on this. But I hope you had a good holiday and New Year's too. All right. Well, thank you. Let's take this. Do what?
Josh says he had a good Christmas.
Good Christmas and New Year's Day. Glad to hear it. All right, so we're gonna take this over. I'm gonna take. Where's my Exacto? There it is. I'm gonna see how hard this. We may just wind up reprinting this completely because I'm thinking if this is gonna be too hard to cut these pieces off.
You want to re-mention the goal?
Oh, the goal that we have up there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a goal up right now that's going to buy if we reach it, we'll be able to get some extra filament. No,
Naming the building.
naming the building. Yes, we have a building over here that you guys can name if we reach the goal. What is? Gosh, that glue is good. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be able to reuse this. Somebody asked if I do the graffiti with an airbrush on the cars. No, I do not. I'll show it to you here. Here's one of my custom graffiti and weathered cars. That is done. We did a live stream on it about a week, 2 weeks ago. It's actually done with, where's my brush? Well, anyway, it's done with a thinned consistency acrylic paint down to ink consistency and done with a, let's see here. It should be like right here. No. Yeah, there it is. I do it with a brush about that size. So I'll just paint and do the graffiti with the brush. So, and I'll blend it together to get those fade areas and all that. And I have one that's even got a finer point to this that I use to do all of my outlining with. So that's all done with black acrylic paint. And this was just two tones of purple and a blue. And then all of the rusting and everything on here and all the weathering, that's all done with acrylic paints and a brush as well. So that's how I do that. So all of these are over here, and I'll pan the thing over when I go over here to look at this. But I do not think this is going to be, I don't think either one's going to be salvageable. I could probably sand this down, but it's going to take me forever to do. So I'm thinking I may just go ahead and I'll work with it. If I can save it, I'll save it. But if I can't get this to come down, or if when I start to get it kind of smooth, if it's warped the sides and stuff, the glue melted it too much, then we'll just reprint everything. But I'll put this up and I'll show you where this is going to go. Okay. Oh, an in-scale restaurant? Just try to find something local. That's what I would do. I would go if you can find something that kind of find a local restaurant that kind of looks what you've built, then that's what I would do. Okay, so let's see here. It'll stand on its own. So that's going to go right there. That isn't. I don't think this is anymore because I just don't think these up here. I'm going to get that smooth enough. But what I'm going to do, I'll get this guy and I'll kind of show you. I've got a really good heat gun, so I'm going to we'll build this, put it together just like it is, and then I'll use my heat gun and I'll mold this to fit the curve of the track. And that'll give me my inside line right here to allow me to connect I-beams across right here. And then I'll certainly this will be this is up close to here. I'm going to see here. Yeah, that's going to be, hang on, that's going to be only about 10 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll have one more curved one right back here against the wall. Okay.
Right. Josh says thanks, and James.
No problems, Josh. Do what?
And then James says that's really good. You even got the rust on the wheels.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I try to rust everything when I'm doing projects, and I've done them in N scale too. So we'll be doing well here. Here's some of the N scales. I just don't have graffiti on these yet. Well, that one does, but I'll be putting graffiti on most of the container cars and most of everything that you see. I won't have a single car on here that won't be weathered, at least weathered, and then probably weathered and graffiti. So yeah, so this is going to be here with another curved one here, another curved one here, and then all those I-beams going across, and then this big tower will come out, as will the station. The station will be the station that I'm procrastinating on right here. Will be sitting. I don't know. Maybe I can actually make this work. This won't be how it sits because it's obviously not going to hang over the edge, but maybe you can get an idea of how it's going to sit right here. Oh, there we go. So it'll sit more of an angle. This will be kicked over this way a little bit, and then we'll have a nice little park here with maybe a fountain and stuff. And then this big tower right here is going to come out and be right here. So you can see how that'll look really, and of course it'll be far enough in, we'll have a whole backside here to it. This will probably come across more of an angle right here, so we'll have maybe some benches and stuff, and maybe a rail fan area here, so you can look at our little people can watch the trains go underneath. And right here I'll cut this material back, and we'll put a loading platform right here and right here for the passenger trains with stairs coming down, so that it'll look like that. So this big building right here, sitting with it, with a nice park right here. So that'll look pretty sharp. I think let me get back and see how that's looking. Look from a distance. I wasn't able to do this before, but now we'll take a look. Oh yeah, that should look really good right there. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so yes, it will be. Thank you. It'll be neat to see, but it's going to be a pain in the rear to build. So I'm not going to drag you guys through that today because that's going to be a lot of expletives, I'm assuming, after getting frustrated, because there's a ton. This is only half the roof panels that goes with that. So, and that's all going to get painted in oxidized copper. And I'm not sure what color I'm going to go with the building yet, but then all the windows are printed separately, all the trim, and they're inserted from the back, so they're going to be a beautiful offsetting color. Let me get this. There's a tower that goes right here, up like right here, and I'm probably going to go ahead and put a real clock on it. We'll get a little watch, and we'll take the face off, or I'll find something online that'll work, and we'll actually have an operating clock there at the station. So I think that'll look really good. So again, yeah, that'll go right here, and then just lines and lines, so that when we're filming for videos, we'll be able just to sit like this, have this like right close to the tracks. We'll have just tons of buildings going this way and that way, and then those trains passing underneath the platform right here coming this way. I think that'll look pretty sharp, especially if we get the angle down a little bit so you see the big towers like this. And yes, I am going to light all the buildings. We'll be putting window glazing in and window shades in every window. The top will be light highlights. This is going to be up here. We're also going to have the oxidized copper look up here. And we'll have like maybe an amber colored light in the top windows and on this floor to give a kind of a nice contrast to the green. So we're doing the night running like we talked about before. It'll look really pretty. Every tower will have something like that coming along here.
Is this based on a real one or your original idea?
Somebody asked, this is based on a real one or an original idea. So this right here, the building itself is an STL file that we got on Thingiverse. We just expanded on it. The original file only came to about right here, and we added almost double the height to it. So we're going with original buildings that are around the country, but then we're making them fit what we want for our layout. So hopefully, I showed you guys the next two towers that are coming. Hopefully, the tower that's going to sit right to the side right here of the station, to the right of it, right to the right of that, we'll have almost done by the time we have our next live. So I'll be able to have it sitting right here. And then this big project that we're going to do right here, these double towers right here, will be coming in about the same time. Need a Batman signal. Yeah. Well, actually, we're going to have, what's going to be really cool about this is we're going to put so many Easter eggs here. It's not even funny. I mean, just for example, I on one of the big towers, I'm probably going to have Spider-Man on here somewhere, crawling up the side of the building. I talked about this in the past. In our bus stop over here, we'll have the South Park, the 4 kids from South Park lined up at the bus stop. There's just going to be tons and tons of things. We're going to have a really cool, with the Cybertruck right here, we're going to have something going on with that. So what we'll do is when we set up, for example, when we set up, let me get out here so I can do this. So let's say we have this set up right here for runs, and we've just got it set up for live runs, and we're just filming this area right here. What we're going to do is we're going to have in the description, we'll have, see if you can find these things. And it will be in view. Whatever we pick will be in view, and we'll just give you guys, be like, just find the Easter eggs. So you'll be able to search through the area and find it, and then we'll have something that'll go with it. If it's the first, for the first person that finds it, we'll figure something out. So that'll all be coming with our live runs. So that'll be what we're going to do there. Oh, welcome back, Andrew. So we are going to put up a few things from time to time for you guys if you want to help out with the layout, either like with naming a building or on a build project itself. Any of the funds that come in off of that, we will be putting straight into the layout, which will just be creating more videos later and more live streams later. So that'll all be coming up pretty shortly. So how long does it take to print building? Okay. This building right here, this took 2.5 days to print this. Like this little guy right here took a day because we had to have 2 plates because of the amount of printing that was done to it. This guy back here, he was about a little over a day. So it just depends. Let's see. Oh, what about the Aurora Borealis in the background? You mean as far as maybe putting it on, painting it? We might, because I might paint the aurora up here, maybe in the sky. That might be good to have the Northern Lights tie in, because I did the artwork. The picture you see at the top of our channel page is a piece of artwork I did of the Aurora Borealis. So that's a good idea, actually. I might paint something like that up there. So I think, you know what I'm going to do now that I've got that propped up like that? I know the trains aren't going to bother. I want to see what that's going to look like with the trains coming under it, how it's going to be. So I may do another test on that. Plus, that'll give me, that'll have given this all time over here to have dried in case I had gotten liquid on the tracks, and it's now got it to where there's a dead spot. But this is pretty much drying up now at this point. So it's all looking good. You can't see the seams anymore right here that we had to cover, or the screw holes. They're all covered. So I'm really happy with all that. Plus, it's lining, the stuff here is doing really well between the tracks. So let's see what that's going to kind of look like with the train coming through. Let me move this out of the way. Put this up here.
Christian asked, are those buildings all one piece, or were they printed in pieces or something?
The buildings are all printed in sections and assembled. I'll see if I can actually point it out. Our print plate is only 10 inches long, so, and only about 12 inches high. So really, all you could really print if you wanted to do this is a single piece, is print about this much of it, and you still have to stack it. But what we do is we print everything flat so you don't have all of the supports and have to clean up all the support stuff. But you can see right here, there's a seam right there, and I'll be puttying that and sanding and puttying that so you'll never see it. So this is one section right here. That's another section right there. That's another section right there. This floor plate is a single piece, and this is another section right here. Another floor plate is another single piece, and then we have our 4 sections that will make up that. And the same thing down here. This is a floor piece, a single section, a single piece, and then these right here are separate prints. So essentially that was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the top 15. So that's 15 sections for that tower. So yeah, and then multiplied for 4 sides. So, well, the floors, you can count that off because that covers all 4 sides, but all the walls have to be done for all 4 sides. So, yes, so that's how we have to go about doing this. This is 2 sections here. This one has got, I don't know if you can even see anymore where the, no, can't even see anymore where the seam was on that. Because I sanded it, I puttied it, sanded it, and then painted it, and it's fine. And then did I do this? No, this one you can see the seam line. It's right there. So that's how we have to do that. All right, so let's get the trains going. I'm sure this is going to be sturdy enough. I don't want them falling on the trains, but we're gonna do a quick test to kind of see what that's going to look like coming underneath the stations and by the tower. All right. Putting an operating elevator in the skyscraper. I mean, that's something we might do on one of the buildings. We are going to do, one thing I forgot to mention, we are going to do is randomly on each tower, each skyscraper we're going to have, on the backside, I'm going to glue a box, like say encompass these 4 windows right here. Glue a box on the inside, and maybe the windows above and below make those closed windows so you can't see it. But have it to where I'll build an interior for this room, so that and light it up, so that at night when we're doing it, you'll actually be able to see varying little rooms here and there. With the others just like being blacked out with the shades or whatever. But I do plan on putting some interiors just here and there randomly on every tower. So that is going to be coming. And when I do the build of the room, I'll show you the actual build of the room. All right, which one are we on? That one. All right, so let's see how this looks. Somebody asked how much the printer ran us. The printer was about $325, and since we bought it, we've had to replace the plate once. That was a $26 something price, and then we had to, well, not had to, but we bought the finer print head too, so that we could do the finer print. Since we were dealing with N-scale versus HO, we wanted to make sure we were going to be able to handle all of the fine printing, and that was like a $20 piece too. So all in all, just the printer set up about $350. All right, that looked pretty good. Let's see how those Montana railings look coming underneath it. Back this up. All right, I'm going to set this right here for just a second while I switch out my leads. Oh, that would be pretty good. Yeah, a window washer and barrel, a slanted platform. That would be pretty good. All right, we're going to do the middle track next. So there'll just be all kinds of Easter eggs that we're going to have around that you guys are going to be able to find. That we'll set up that I make sure that you can see whatever camera angle we've got set up. All right, let's see how this one does. How this is going to look. Get direction. Coming underneath the station. Yeah, that'll be just fine. And I have checked. We do clear all tall cars. I did check, and we will clear auto carriers, and we will clear container cars, well cars, with 2 containers. All right, so we'll get down here where we were working on the scenery, making sure we have nothing, no issues. No, that looked pretty good. Oh, wait a minute. Something's happened here. Did I do it again? This is stupid rear truck on this middle track. All right, we'll run through that again. And that's amazing, because when I tested the middle track, it was my best track of the bunch. And the inside track, this one was garbage. I had to do a lot of work on it. I'm picking up an area right here where it derails. I want to see where that's going to be at. And I'll just get in there and I'll get it corrected. Well, now it doesn't. So maybe I just knocked it off again. I don't know. Unless it's right here. No, it was already bad before that. We're doing okay. So it's going to look like that going underneath the station. I'm not seeing it. The wheels are looking good. All this testing. Right is here's where I would think it would be. Okay, well, it's not doing it now, so I don't know. I have gremlins. Okay, so let's set up the final track. Just got to change the leads out again. Let's see here. We want this one. Is it the final track? Yeah, it's the last MRL. I really got to get a little plug system for this. Okay, there we go. That's going to look really sharp. Then coming out the other way. Yep. All right, so let's see. As it goes by here, I want to just see. Yeah, wheels are fine. All right. Yeah, did okay, so that one's fine. Now that I've said that. Okay. So we're good. Very good. All right, I'm going to put this on the track so when I get ready to cover everything, I'll have everything under that I have out under paper towels. There we go. They do. Yeah, this guy, he has gremlins. I don't know what his problem is. He'll sail around here, no issues whatsoever, and then 4 or 5 times around, and then the next one he'll have that back truck off. So I don't know. I may swap these and see if I have the same issue with this on this track, and then it starts doing it on this track. In which case, it's going to be something bad tracking on the back truck. But I can figure that out. So it's all just figuring everything out. So, all right, I do believe I'm tired with working on this. So again, like I said, this week we got our light situation figured out. I just got to get all these wires tucked up and out of the way, giving us really good light. I think you guys had really good light today while I was working on this. It seemed to, what I could see, seemed to be doing pretty good. So this is really dark right now in comparison to this because it's still wet. So this will dry. This will dry like this. So next time we get together, I'm going to paint this. I'll show you how I do get the colors that we do. And then we will work on, we'll work on this thing. I may try tackling it before we get together, try to get some of the really garbage stuff that has to be done that's going to really tick me off and I'll cuss a lot about. So I'll get that done first, and then we'll get together and then we'll do the fun, happy stuff. So we'll do that. I like this though. So, but we are going to have to reprint all of this. I'm not going to be able to reuse this, I don't think. But then I'll measure and I'll cut everything, get everything made right for the inside ones. So it'll all work perfectly because I think it's going to have to be a much longer piece since I'm going to have to come from basically here all the way around about here. So we'll get things a little more custom made and done. Thank you. Glad you like it. So yeah, so next time we get together, we will have hopefully parts of this going up. And we'll have this big project, talking about this big project over here. So that should be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put this back here. And I'm going to get this all set up, get the sand out of the way. All right. So I hope you guys had a fun time here today with us. Let me turn off the power pack. I think we're getting there. It's been a long road to get to this stretch. Well, I guess really not. I mean, when you consider a lot of guys will work on their layouts for a year to get to the stage that we're at right now with the level of weather, level of landscaping and builds and all that kind of stuff and track laying. So I guess for 4 to 5 months, we're not doing too bad. It just seems like a long time. It's going to really seem like a long time when I start working on this road, the ballast. Like I said, that's going to be a 20-hour, a minimum of 20-hour go. I will not ballast the area right here until I get all the switches in, obviously. So we will bring the ballast all around to here. One of these, I picked up all the paint I needed, so we are going to move stuff out of the way and do stuff from side to side. Probably the next time, I'm going to paint all the pink foam just a dirt color, so that as we're working on it, I can eventually we'll paint and do all the streets with that asphalt color from Apple Barrel. But until then, we'll just paint everything in dirt so that we can get rid of the pink and it'll start looking a little more natural. So we'll be doing that probably next time. We'll move everything from side to side to do that. Okay.
Erskine says, "Thanks, Professor, for another good class."
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We kind of just the same stuff we've been doing, but that's just how it goes. You know, it's just repetitive. You just got to keep at it. But we will be doing new stuff over the next couple of, especially if I can get this done. We may actually do this whole build right here. I really have to get this finished. I've got a lot of, I bought this stuff forever ago. I bought a huge pack of this stuff. It was like 30 sheets of this stuff. I bought this like 15 years ago. I still have sheets left. So once we get this done, yeah, I can do the entire platform in one size. So one piece of styrene. So that's what I plan on doing. And then that way there's no seams there that we have an issue with. So if I can get this done, if I can get this remade and that one done and in place and the I-beams across, or I-beams ready to go, I'll show you how to do the build on that. And show you how to build the I-beams and the whole works. So, or maybe we'll even show you some of that stuff being printed on the, we haven't done a 3D print live in a while, so maybe we'll do next live we'll do a bunch of 3D print, like maybe when we have this figured out, we'll come on and we'll show you this all being printed to get to that stage. So we might do that coming up. So, but again, I hope you had a good time, and we will we'll definitely be finishing up. I'll probably get all of this area done too prior to the next time, but we'll probably do this in a live, just get that area finished as well. So that'll do it. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and thanks for coming and hanging out and just having a good time. And if you have any questions that didn't get answered, go post them on one of the maybe on this video if you want to. This video be actually in our video feed probably within about 10-15 minutes that you'll be able to access it. So if we didn't answer something, just go ask us there. We'll answer your questions. We'll get to them today. So hope you had a good time.
Josh says, "I did, and that's the first time I've seen the N-scale trains and running on your layout."
Oh, well, good. Yeah. Now we're testing pretty much every time. And I'll be adding more and more. Like we were doing the cars this time. We had cars behind to see how they were going over. We'll be doing that again because I've got areas here I've got to finish up. So
Derek says, "Yes, I learned a lot. Thanks."
good. Glad.
Mr. Etoyu says, "OMG, great stuff."
Fantastic. Glad you enjoyed it. So good. So we try to do between like a 2 to 4 hour live stream when we do it. So this one came in a little over 3 hours. So we got a lot done in a 3 hour period of time, from foam carving and plastering to doing all of that. So along with all the walk around stuff and testing.
Josh says, "Bye, have a good day."
Thanks, Josh. You too. All right. So we will see you guys on the next one. I think it'll probably be mid to end of the week, like Wednesday through Friday sometime, and then next weekend again for sure. So somewhere in there, then I think we'll do this on the next one. All right. Well, take care, everybody, and thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.